running for president in 2016 and beyond. So we have seen some pretty interesting events going on recently with the Jade Helm takedown of our freedoms, an operation that appears to be just as much as of a psyops, where they control our brains, making us fearful of a military state forming, and an actual buildup of troops in our nation states under the guise of a preparation for a southern attack from Russia. We don't know what the deal is. And every time they try to explain their plan, it sounds so muddled and disoriented, not really clear. So if we don't deal with this reality that our government is wasting our tax dollars to create an event to scare the living daylights out of people, we're not going to be able to solve this country's problems in the near future. There's an attack on our western coast. It is a geoengineering attack. The entire west coast of California, Oregon, is being hit with a massive drought that is being caused by, you guessed it, chemtrails. So we'll talk about some chemtrails tonight in our show. We'll bring up the fateful reality that these things are being sprayed all over our skies. So we've got that happening. These aren't contrails. These are not contrails. They are actually chemtrails, and the government has been spraying them over our heads without even authorized approval by Congress. So we'll talk about that. There's also plans to continually mutating genes and viruses. Oh yeah, America's turned into a real hodgepodge of funness. A potential pandemic, H2N5. Bird flu is hitting our country at the same time. We got all kinds of things going on. Yeah. John Kerry broke his leg biking, if you believe that. Why would he go biking? It just seems so ridiculous for him to go biking when he needs to be running around helping to prevent war around the world. I mean, biking seems like an irrelevant thing for a Secretary of State to be doing. What a dumb idiot, biking. You realize how dangerous that is? I hate to call him a dumb idiot, but he really is kind of dumb. Brokering a deal with Iran to give them a nuclear weapon. Yeah, that's the deal we have on the table right now. Iran will have a nuclear weapon in 1 year and 1 day based on the contract that Obama's drawing up with Iran. It's outrageous to even think that these people are going to do this. And somebody said, well, why shouldn't Iran have a nuclear weapon? Israel has them. Israel never admitted to having them, and that's part of the problem. If they did, maybe Iran wouldn't have one. Israel's never signed on to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. So this is an area that I will be working on as president to get Israel to sign on to that Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. But I can't do anything if Barack Obama gives Iran a nuclear weapon. Seeking the gold. Lindsey Graham presidential campaign. Wow, I didn't know the chicken hawk Republican was going to be running for president. Okay, well, here he is. He's thinking about doing it. You know, he's always wanted to run for president. With all his connections and ties to corporate America, he has a pretty good chance. Think of all the brown-nosing he's done in his life. He'll probably win a real big brownie button among all of his AIPAC supporters. He's injecting a hawkish foreign policy voice into a crowded field of Republicans. You know, we don't need any more hawkish presidents. We've got wars forming with the Republicans and Democrats pushing for a war in Syria and Ukraine. We've got these hawkish, middle-of-the-road, flip-flopping liberal Republicans like Lindsey Graham who don't even know what their party really wants. It's crazy. He's the awesome Carl of the Republican Party. Hey, it's me, Lindsey Graham. Hey, it's me, Lindsey Graham. All right. Here, Ann. Mad Dog's going to give you a video about castration. Okay, we got a lot of people in our Vaughn chat room here. You can't unsee the castration video that Glenn Beck posted. Okay, I really don't want to watch that. If I don't want to unsee it, I certainly don't want to watch it. It's how to castrate a cow. I've got too many things to deal with. I got Jade Helm. I got a pandemic. I've got a nuclear bomb going off in Iran. I've got chemtrails flying all over the sky on a daily basis. Oh yeah, America's great. Oh, and we've got a police state forming with this doctrine, a 21st century doctrine on policing. Isn't this great? You ever think you would be living in a country so completely twisted and upside down as this one? David, I thought mega projects do not work. We do not get any money out of it. There are no mega projects that I know in the works under my plans. I don't have to put a lot of money into something to make it work. The Democrats think that you can pay extra money and get things to be done. Look at Solyndra. They gave $530 million to Solyndra Corporation, and they didn't even produce solar panels. They just took the money and ran. Pretty good money, huh? To get Barack Obama to push a little deal. Same with Fisker Motors. Obama gave them $1.5 billion in loan money, and they went under. A Finnish company. Thank you. My shirt is a Johnny Cash shirt. I'm dressing like Johnny Cash tonight. Yeah. A boy named Sue. Yeah. I know. Oh, yeah. Let's not forget Obamacare. Yeah. This Obama guy's turned out to be a real disaster, hasn't he? I'll make a good cowboy. That's Zorro, the Gay Blade t-shirt. Well, we're getting going right now, Rodney. Don't worry. Yeah, we've got things happening. Our show kind of rolls into shape. It's a 3-hour show, so we respond to chat and we take in leads from people that, are offering credible leads, not some guy being castrating a horse or what is he castrating? A calf? Yeah, I'm surprised this is even legal to air, said Beck's radio co-host. Yeah, that's not really a story. Yes, if someone wants to call, they can, but you don't have to. It's okay. I can fill the hour with my concern for the country. Today I did a 3-minute radio show just to send to somebody as a leader for their radio show. DJ Bad Boy, you should have received it by now. I did an MP3 with some music, synopsized what we're doing, our platform, talking about all of our solutions, our homestead renewal plan, our mobile medical units in every city plan, and of course our legalization of marijuana plan. And all those things do not require congressional approval. I can implement them through the executive branch. The homestead renewal plan can be worked out through existing HUD funds initially. The mobile medical unit will be implemented in our veterans facilities, updating and modernizing and creating telemedicine systems that link with the mobile medical unit at every single VA facility. No, I would not feel intimidated standing next to anybody in a presidential debate because I obviously am born to do this. It was ingrained in my body and my mind when I was young that I would become president of the United States. So it doesn't really faze me to go in front of people that think they're special. I'm filling the shoes necessary to lead this nation. Dave, I was thinking about you today. When they let the illegals just steam across the borders, that was the ultimate false flag. No, I agree. Yeah, pushing illegals over our borders is a way of weakening our country. Is that a real behind you? It's Jade Helm. Jade Helm, by the way, is a very suspicious thing. That thing right in the center, that is a wooden shoe indicative of the Nazi concentration camps. They gave wooden shoes like they have in Holland to all of the people in the concentration camps, and when it got really cold, they burned the shoes in the fire to keep them warm. Yeah, it's just crazy. The whole reference to the wooden shoe in an official logo called Master the Human Domain, coming from our government, it's psychotic. It is absolutely psychotic. No, it is not related to Jesse Hill. No, this is all real. I'm telling you. They're putting a wooden shoe indicative of concentration camps from the German time. And that brings us to the point that we have to get to, the ugly elephant in the closet that I want all of you to hear about. Our nation has been pretty much hijacked by Nazis. It didn't happen quickly. It happened slowly. It was a Initially, a shipment of many Nazis into our country through what is called Operation Paperclip. It's very disturbing. Operation Paperclip gave these Nazis the ability to control our government and control every aspect of agencies like the CIA, the IRS, and the Exchange Stabilization Fund, the very heart of the Treasury. They control our country from within, and they position themselves through various clandestine means to implement a policy, the same policy that they tried to implement in Germany, of depopulation. So they're prepping our nation for martial law, and they're prepping it because they want to create the environment for martial law. That much is obvious. Did our Twitter get hacked? I don't think so. No, why? We have our official Twitter is @thirdparty. Yeah. If you're referencing us, please join us @thirdparty on Twitter. Yeah. Yeah, don't post Nazi signias here, please. Thank you. I'm not a Nazi. You're saying law enforcement is majority is good and stop promoting drugs, marijuana. Wow, you're really an idiot. Guest 897 is here representing all the morons in the society. Not only has marijuana become known throughout the world as medicinal, but yeah, I talked to Awesome Carl. I went to his location and visited him. That's a good shot of me, yeah. We had a good conversation. Sarah's fine. She's just, coming back from her job. Yeah, they try to separate us and divide us into two parties and keep us separate. The reason why we're having a difficult time getting a third party off the ground, aside from all these ridiculous things that Obama's doing, like giving Iran a nuclear weapon or allowing chemtrails to fly over our sky or producing a martial law environment with Jade Helm, or maybe creating pandemics with vaccinations and all kinds of things. The reason why we're doing this is because our nation really is screwed. The global climate has changed dramatically. Our country is not gaining any traction in terms of production. We're actually slipping. China is now the #1 industrial leader around the world. And our leadership seems to not even care. They just care about their own personal pocket and getting reelected. So at America's Third Party, we've created a different plan. And that is to have a nightly show. And as you can see, I have a green screen behind me, where we communicate to the American people, and I will do this in the White House as well. I will actually talk to the people on a nightly basis for an hour and a half, I'm shooting for, every day except Sunday, like we do currently, and we'll continue this process of interacting with the show and the people in the show. I believe that global warming is a phenomenon that is being promoted by industrialists and rich monetary elitists. People like the Rothschild family who are profiting from weather modification, cloud seeding, and creating the drought that we see in California. People who happen to be in the know realize that this guy, Rothschild,
the RMB situation, you mentioned a so-called currency problem.
He wants this
do you see
plan to take shape.
5 years where it's fully convertible and flexible?
Well, you're talking to a person who's quite old. If I'm around in 5 years, I'd like to think that that is the case. And we are the #1 provider of broadcast weather graphic solutions in the country. I mean, you had this downpour, I believe, in the last 24 hours, which has caused even people losing their lives. And situations like this.
And situations like this. I mean, people losing their lives. Like he really gives a crap. I'd like to say that I'm working on a new weather station because we're monitoring all of our weather graphics with perfect detail because we are actually creating the weather. Yeah, really. We need a third party because the two parties cannot possibly cut the budget. They've proven that. They can't even come up with a budget. That's another reason we need a third party. The concept of a third party is being shunned, and people are saying, oh yeah, anybody who says that's a whack job, because they want to divide the nation. And they've done a very good job making people believe that anyone who thinks outside the box is a whack job. We'll have a public poll system, George. That's what I want to do on our chat room, is have a nightly polling event where you can poll pro or con on any one issue, and we'll get the results from an average poll across the nation to questions that I raise in the nightly chat room. That's what I'm shooting for. The polling will not be 100% accurate. There'll be variabilities, but it'll tell me where the American people are leading so that I can follow and lead at the same time, because I want to be a person who represents 2/3 of the country. I will work in the direction of the 2/3 majority opinion. And that's something that no other president has ever done, and we have the ability to do this scientifically now. This is what you expected from Barack Obama. You didn't get it. Put some cool shades on, Dave, and learn drums. Okay? Let's take this word of advice. All right, let's learn some drums. What do you say? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Thank you. We're getting into the show now. Let's talk about ideas that you guys are concerned about, things that make you wonder, are we really ever going to get any kind of accountability from our president? Because so far he's used his blackness to defend himself every time he's questioned on any single point. Anytime somebody questions about any policies, they're immediately called a racist by the Democrats. Anytime you question his extremely spendy behavior, he's spent more than $1.5 trillion every year for the first 4 years over the budget. A cumulative total of over $7 trillion now wasted over and above the budget that was around in 2009 when they started doing the budgets. And he doesn't seem to ever get anybody questioning him. It's really kind of sad. Palm Beach sheriff had a hooker? Oh yeah, I'm sure that's the case. That happens in Palm Beach. It is not surprising to see corruption at all levels of the local police departments. That's why we want to end the police state here, folks. Look at this. I mean, the Palm Beach sheriff had a hooker, cocaine delivered to a private golf course party. I mean, people who are powerful get very corrupt. What made me decide to leave the Democratic Party? When I realized they were just as bought off as the Republican Party. All right. Palm Beach deputy stops an unarmed bystander. This is the new 97.3 The Coast traffic. I'm not sure what this is. All right. Yeah. Corruption among the cops. Now, what I want to do when I say end the police state is I want less emphasis on traffic cops and brutality and speed guns, and more emphasis on beat cops and detectives. Men that walk the beat with the people are much better and more effective at preserving the peace. We found this out in New York when Mayor Giuliani implemented that tactic, and it made a big difference. You want me to play that? I don't need to play it. That's kind of an old video. It's like 8 years old. David, how do you even start to fight against the tsunami of evil? Well, have you ever been happy? Have you ever known a better way? I keep getting this song singing in my head. It's just terrible. Olivia Newton-John song. Have you ever been happy? Have you ever been sad? I think fighting good battles in politics is the work of very courageous people. And the more courageous people we have fighting these good battles, the more likely we're going to get a good, honest political government. That's my goal. opening up the door to communication across the globe, advancing free speech, not shunning it.
Can I?
So obviously, we don't need people to stifle the freedom of speech in our country. We need to elevate it. So when I did a video back in 2008 where I impersonated the president, it wasn't well received. In fact, it was banned on YouTube. And I've been trying to figure out why they think that me impersonating Barack Obama is racist. I can't understand it. So I did this video back in 2008, which, I thought was necessary because I had to use my freedom of speech. And I was immediately banned on YouTube for playing it. And all the hits on the other sites that copied it have actually never been getting any hits on their hit counter. We haven't had any hits since, 2009, 2010. Yeah, so guests are good for the show. No, I didn't. It's not a question of the blackface. I had no chance because the entire media is controlled. The blackface video was designed to break through the media wall of voodoo that's been created against any American speaking out. Yeah, and white people are not even given a choice to run in politics anymore. We're shunned. There's no big deal. Nobody cares about a white guy running for Congress. They simply care about attacking a white guy running for Congress. I work all the time. That's just not true. I work all the time. I just don't get paid for it. I have a couple of goals in the next couple of years to fulfill, which I think when I do, you'll be quite amazed at the miraculous inventions I'm coming out with right now. But I don't want to release those ideas until they're fully functional and in prototype production. But thank you very much. When is the official date of the third trial? It will be in the official ballot. Can't wait for that date. Well, Flyman, you got to help me do that. The official date for the third party to be in a ballot requires you to collect signatures. Do you really think this is just going to happen on its own? It's like the old statement. It's a joke, actually. It doesn't suck itself. Yeah. Same thing applies. Ex-Nazis receive $20 million in Social Security benefits. Wow. I definitely think I have a legitimate chance. No one can compete with me verbally. I'm a master at verbal combat. I can pretty much disable anybody in a debate instantly by attacking their weakest points and virtually make them appear to be a complete babbling idiot by the time I'm done with them. I'm a master debater. Yeah, this is an amazing story that came out just a second ago. Thank you for that link. Daily News has the ex-Nazis receiving $20 million in Social Security benefits. You know what's really weird is the government knew that Hitler was alive in Germany. And they never did anything about it. Bish is here. Oh my God, I'm wearing the shirt Sarah gave me. I just realized. Oh, hello, Bish. Welcome. Thank you. Yeah, you're wearing a Sarah original shirt. Remember you were telling her that it looked cool and she sent it to you. And I see your wannabe lover is here too, following you around the internet, trailing you like a lapdog. Yeah. Boy, it must be amazing being so popular. Okay, let's take a look at this story. How could this possibly be happening? Well, if we brought the Nazis in, yeah, they would probably collect Social Security benefits. In a forthcoming report triggered by an AP investigation, the top watchdog the Social Security found the top watchdog at the Social Security found the agency paid $20 million in benefits to more than 130 suspected Nazi war criminals, SS guards, and others who may have participated in the Third Reich's atrocities during World War II. Wow. The report's scheduled for public release this week and obtained by the AP. Well, this is really interesting stuff. Very timely that I should talk about how the Nazis have embedded themselves in our country. You can call if you want, but you don't have to. Don't feel the pressure. I would be willing to go head-to-head with Hillary in a live debate, but I would insist that Hillary and I both have our ears checked, and I would like to make sure that she has a MRI done on her brain, and I'll have an MRI done on my brain too, to make sure there's no RFID chipping in there with audio sensors and abilities to speak inside of your head. You see, I suspect that Barack Obama is a transhumanist. I believe that they've worked on his head to give him the ability to speak with prompters from speechwriters within his own brain. They realized Obama had a problem speaking when he went off the teleprompter one day. Let's be clear. Could you advance the teleprompter? Okay. So they went ahead and gave him brain surgery. And I wouldn't doubt that Hillary Clinton hasn't had brain surgery too. I mean, remember she had that brain embolism that kept her from testifying about Benghazi? Seriously, no, look at the scar on his head. I'm not making this up. Neuroscientists have verified that this scarring is indicative of actual brain surgery. So if you could explain to me why Barack Obama had brain surgery sometime during the past 7 years, I'd love to hear it. Any new ideas? That'd be great. We've got numerous shots. Have you ever been something? Yeah. So you can check them out yourself. All right. The show started a long time ago. When you were born, the show started. And your mom, the first thing she had to say on her script was, "Hi, honey. I love you, dear." Yeah. I don't know when Obama became Jewish. I know, but I don't get the scarring on the head. No, Ann, you're grasping for straws. Let's take a look at what appears to be a UFO in the background in this picture taken from Soho. Very strange anomaly, folks. Now, if you don't believe in aliens like I don't believe in aliens, you're going to wonder what this little object here is, right here. It's kind of a strange anomaly. It's one of those things that you just can't ignore. What is it doing near the sun like that? What is it? Hi, Sarah. Wow. It's a strange orb that's going right through the screen here. Bizarre.
Well, that is. It
Yeah,
looks
isn't
like
that weird?
ringworm or something.
Yeah, it's strange. The sun is a stargate? Good, thanks. Well, you're here. Well, great. We have a nice room tonight. Somebody said our account was hacked, our Twitter account, and I said, no, it's not. We still have @thirdparty. It's
Yes,
perfectly
everybody
fine.
can follow us. Twitter.com/thirdparty.
Yeah. @thirdparty is our Twitter account.
Party.
Please subscribe. We need more subscribers. I don't believe in aliens because I'm a guy who has to see them to believe them. I believe that there is some sort of a life force outside of our planet. I do believe that. There's scientific proof that, mathematically speaking, that there is life outside of our planet. I just don't believe that they're reptiles. And they somehow, place themselves inside of our government. The scarring on Barack Obama's head indicates to me that he's had a chip installed in his head. That's more sinister than in any alien theory, if you ask me. There's an Oregon coast eruption off the coastline. A seamount volcano is popping right now. Well, that's not good. That could be very dangerous to where we are right now.
The Drake equation, yes.
Yeah, the Drake equation is a scientific mathematical model that shows that there is some sort of an alien life form somewhere, or a life form somewhere in the universe, because the universe is mostly infinite. Well, that's an understatement. Okay, Newport, Oregon, axial seamount, an active underwater volcano located about 300 miles off the coast, appears to be erupting. Wow. I hope it doesn't get worse, because this could cause a major event here where we are. Definitely disturbing. Okay, thanks for the link. It's always good to see people who are concerned. All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm the volcanic personality that you came to see, but Sarah's here. She's got a very congenial personality, and I think you'll love her. She's got a wonderful attitude and a great perspective on our political future. We have a great plan for America, and Sarah and I built this plan together when we wrote the book Hybrid Capitalism and built our platform on our website. Now, there's no references to conspiracies on our website. I live in Washington State, yes, near Seattle. We don't talk about conspiracies on our website because, frankly, Sarah and I don't necessarily agree on any ideas that could or could not be considered a conspiracy theory.
We're not getting legally married.
We're not getting legally married.
Even though I love David with all my heart.
Well, thank you. I love you with all my heart, too.
Thank you.
And I want you to know that it's not that we don't believe in marriage, it's that we don't think the government should be responsible for marriage or in any way involved in marriage. We wondered really why they breached the separation of church and state when they dictated marriage laws in America. We don't understand that.
Hi, Bish, 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 Bish. How are you?
She got your shirt. She's wearing your shirt.
Oh, you did get my shirt. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm sure it looks better on you than me. That's cool.
You know, here's a story.
I'm glad you got it.
Thank you, Bish, yes. Here's a story that's kind of weird. Remember when the artificial snow appeared and people said that this weird white stuff was appearing on their cars during the winter? Well, now this anti-conspiracy site is making fun of those people, saying people in the South are trying to prove that snow is actually fake because it's a government conspiracy. All right. A lot of people in the South think that the snow that hit them last winter was geoengineered. There's some sort of geoengineering going on across the nation, around the world. Yeah, there really is. And I've gotten people to understand that it's really a serious problem.
I might look at this infographic.
Cool. Infographic. Women control the money? Really? Okay.
In America.
That's probably true, yeah. More women are making more money than American men at this point.
Oh, because we're holding 60% of stocks, according to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, well, look at you. You bought stock, and I don't want to buy stock. More women are taking the reins of financing, holding 60% of all personal wealth, stocks, according to Virginia Tech. Interesting.
I've seen Bruce Jenner's picture, yes. I don't know which one you're specifically.
Oh, there's a new one. I'll show it to you. He's made his reveal as a woman.
Oh, he's decided to be more like me.
Yeah, he's going to try to be just like you.
He can't be with me, so. Oh, that's so cool, David. I like your little.
Thanks.
Things, yes.
Yeah. Well, let me play you the video.
It's the first time I saw Bruce as her. Really, really pretty.
Jenner is reportedly preparing for facial feminization surgery as the next step in her
facial feminization. That's what she wants to look more like me.
Yeah. Just trying to get a pause here to get a picture.
Great.
Yeah, apparently he's appeared on Vanity Fair coming out. He's did a lineup as a woman named Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn doesn't have any secrets. As soon as the Vanity...
Caitlyn doesn't have any secrets, except for the one strange problem. You know, Caitlyn definitely has been hiding from all of us for years. Maine House okays carrying concealed handguns without a permit. Wow.
Good job, Maine.
Good job, Maine. Okay, Maine is leading the way, supporting gun rights. And as you know, we support gun rights here at America's Third Party.
I don't know if it's totally okay, though, because that's the House. I don't know what their Senate will say.
In a key vote, Maine House okays carrying concealed handguns without a permit. This is a big move. The vote increases the odds that Maine will join 7 other states that do not require permits to carry concealed handguns. Wow.
Good job, 7 other states.
Caitlyn is the woman behind the man we know as Bruce Jenner. And we knew that he was going to do a gender change when he came out with this this cover article. It's apparently a big deal. And the reason why it's a big deal is because the mainstream media wants you to think about Bruce Jenner, not anything else. They don't want you to question Barack Obama. They don't want you to question Hillary Clinton about Benghazi. They just want you to look at Bruce Jenner as a woman named Caitlyn. So is it working? Are you completely brain dead yet? Hopefully.
She's trying to look like me.
Yeah, she is.
I know.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how similar the facial feature
He
is.
couldn't be with me, so he decided to become me.
Yeah, I think he has. The look of Bruce Jenner is in his eyes, only in his mind. I hope it doesn't get creepy. No, it's not creepy. Sarah and I are 18 years separated. It's normal in America for
And
people to have younger...
We were both consenting adults when we started our relationship.
And Bish said that you look a lot like Bruce Jenner.
I know.
Caitlyn Jenner.
I don't take offense to it. I just say he's trying to look like me. He had to go through all this face. Look at this. Imagine the thousands of dollars that Bruce had to spend just to look like me, and I didn't have to spend a penny.
Yeah, it's amazing. And to think...
Oh, sorry, Caitlyn.
To think that
Bruce
Caitlyn.
Jenner.
Jenner. So they have effectively made us talk about mindless trivia on a show like ours, simply by being absolutely outrageous. Having a guy promoted all over the news all the time, every day, about his gender replacement surgery. They've effectively dumbed the American people down to the point where we're like, duh.
Well, it's true I might need some teeth work, but I noticed that Caitlyn wasn't smiling in her photograph.
Okay, special report, hacking the human OS. That's a good one for
cool.
Mad Dog. I'll take a look at that in a little bit. And you've got one, Popular Mechanics, Air Force laser jets, Mad Dog. Okay. All right. You can hold off on the links for now. We'll go get to those in just a bit. I heard about Obama's security guard, Frankie, the guy who was apparently a reptilian bodyguard for the president.
During Barack Obama's speech at 2012 APAC,
Yeah, I remember that.
extraterrestrial race.
There he is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this guy's an
Disregard all the
alien.
distortions and image artifacts caused by post-edition zooming.
Yeah, exactly. All the image artifacts by post-edition zooming. I mean, I almost think that...
Post-edition. Like they purposely... All the images and artifacts caused by Photoshop.
Yeah, by post-edition Photoshop. All the image artifacts. I mean, they dithered it to the point where his nose disappeared, and then they acted like it was a big deal.
Pay close attention to how his head features suddenly change.
Pay close attention.
His ears,
His
nose,
his chin. And we continued to dither the image, and his face changed even more. He's an archon. Okay, we got some big, strong reptilian believers here that this guy is an archon. Like I even know what that is. The Archon, each of the 9 chief magistrates of ancient Athens. Wow, you know so much. Do you watch Alex Jones or something? How do you know all this stuff? I'm not a troll. No, I'm a real person running for president in 2016. I'm going to go get some coffee now and rehydrate. Sarah can talk for you.
Okay,
and
thank you very much.
I'll step out. Thank you.
What are you guys confused about? About Caitlyn's orientation? That is quite confusing. I don't really know what it is, and I don't really care. Sorry. Tell me what you talked about. Let's call them reprosauridae. Really? I don't know. 3, 4, 5. Oh, you kind of feel sick? Okay. All right. I'm going to... There's a poll. Oh, on Politico that Fox is the most trusted news source in the U.S. I think people can do whatever they want, Flyman. Yes, I don't have... I don't disrespect them. Oh, you had no idea? Well, that's it. I'm glad, Antique, you figured it out. Good job. All from joining my Facebook, facebook.com/third party. Tons of fun. So, 2 U.S. lawmakers warn proposed changes could doom the spy bill. So, the Patriot Act is expiring. And a ship with 450 people aboard sank in China. David drinks, he usually likes hazelnuts flavored coffee. I'm getting up to date on current events, Tizzle. I have been busy all day, so I'm coming up to date. That's about it. Really? That's interesting, Mad Dog. I noticed you gathered that from 2 different polls. I tend to agree with you, 7 Deadly Sins, about the Patriot Act. California Senate approved another minimum wage hike. They want to raise it to $13 an hour in 2017. And then tied to the rate of inflation after that. Intel wants to reduce its reliance on the personal computer market, shift away from PCs, probably more into tablets and things like that. How did I feel when that happened? I'm glad you try to be fair and balanced.
Can I talk?
Sorry. I felt like I was interrupting something. That's how I felt, and I learned not to interrupt. Oh, so Hydroglow, are you nervous around me? Because I've never smoked weed in my life? But then I could put you at ease rather quickly once I got to know you. I don't understand. Well, you know me. It's like, I don't need it. I'm just cool like that. You know, it was like my parents did enough weed to influence my genes, so now I don't need to do it. No, I don't have a twin sister. I would love to be cloned, but I don't have a twin sister. No, he doesn't. Waz Tengbak, who was the angry, interrupted guy. That was David. I know I tend to be a little bit of submissive, but I don't think it's a problem. I mean, unless I was leading the country, but I'm not. That's interesting. NASA preps a revolutionary flying saucer test. Your name's Jurgen? Is that right? That's pretty cool. Scientists posted 5,000 comments on social media and conspiracy websites to test the theory. What was the theory, I wonder? Conspiracy theorists will pretty much
NASA will
anything
conduct
you
an
tell
ambitious
them.
test flight of its revolutionary
That's
flying
hilarious.
saucer technology Tuesday.
That's pretty funny. I can kind of believe that. Okay. Yes, that's our phone number. Oh, I'm glad I can always look like that, Seymour, even after a long day of work. Because I'm not always around. I'm usually doing other things. I know. Why would you call this show? You don't need to. I think we do have a chance, but it's going to take everybody's effort to make it happen. You know, people can volunteer their time. They can post about us on their own Twitter accounts or anything like that. Breaker spirit. Which people did you hear that from? Yes, cross out Hillary Clinton, write in David John Sponheim. That's very good. I wonder, I should probably get rid of this, but this is kind of cool, hacking the human OS. Medicine has always sought to understand the human's body's operating system. Now, with biometric sensors and big data analytics, we're learning how to fix the bugs. Wow. If you're wearing a fitness tracker, you're already generating tons of health-related data. It's the start of a grand experiment. Now they're trying to answer a vital question. Can they use your data to make you stronger, happier, and healthier? Hi, Caitlin. Well, now that I've got the cool hair going on, I look almost as good as you. Of course, I need some teeth work and a little bit, but you do look a little bit better on that Vanity Fair, have to say. David doesn't take that. No. 3, 4, 5. No need. Maybe because my drive isn't that strong. Wow. So in Mexico, they're trying to stop an education overhaul. Oh, thank you, Caitlin. So they left millions of children without classes. They want to disrupt federal midterm elections. Oh, so they are calling for, in Mexico, this overhaul calls for mandatory evaluations of the country's teachers to begin later this year. So they don't want to be evaluated. Oh, can you meet me? No, thank you. No, 3, 4, 5, because my profession, I wouldn't do that. HSBC is preparing job cuts that may target 20,000 workers. Wow. Sorry, George. What would you like to talk about, George? I know David is fantastic at talking because he just talks off the top of his head all the time. Okay, I already said your name. So HSBC, which is Europe's largest bank, is going to announce a plan next week to cut thousands of jobs. They're going to announce this on June 9th. They don't know how many people they're going to lay off. The number is still being worked out. Wow. At the end of last year, they employed almost 258,000 people. So they're cutting almost 1% of their work, or 10.
Who's that?
10% of their
10%?
workforce
Wow.
almost. HSBC in London.
HSBC, they were named in the Libor scandal, right? Yeah.
Well, yes, exactly. Thank you.
I'm going to check our coloring here. I think that we're a little too bright.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I'm going to drop our... there we go. That's more natural. Thank you. We both look too Caucasian. It's hard hiding the fact that I'm Caucasian, but
George is so glad you're back. It's difficult being away from you.
Oh, thanks. Well, I don't take too many big breaks, and
I know.
you have a pretty big work
just
schedule
kidding.
during the week, so I expect
I'm
you to
just
take
kidding.
breaks. No,
Yes.
seriously. Yeah. Plugged in, yeah. Yeah, you keep saying you've met this James Anderson. You need to report that to Homeland Security immediately. Yeah. I'm sure you do. George is the guy that told us about the core farms that were used to be places where people who were homeless would have a core farm, and you'd work on the land, and you'd be able to get ahead of your debt, and you'd begin building your life back up. And I was telling him how our homestead renewal plan is similar, where people work, in a situation where they can have some land, they can farm, and the idea of creating a national food composting plan integrates food that we have in our environment back into the soil, which will give people jobs. Homeless people could have those jobs. But we find a lot of homeless people don't want to work.
I have found that to be the case.
Yeah. We want to help the poor, yeah. DJ Bad Boy, did you get the MP3 I sent you? I did a 3-minute clip for him today.
Oh, nice job, David.
Now, there's a lot of people talking about the real reason why John Kerry had his surgery on his leg today, and many people don't realize that he's been pulled out of commission because he hurt himself on a bike, but they didn't realize the real reason was this. This is where John Kerry is currently with, I don't know if Lanny Leibovitz is doing this photo shoot, but it looks like a new move for our Secretary of State. I don't know why he was riding a bike. I asked the question earlier. I said, why would a guy like a Secretary of State be riding a bike? Now, I forgot to comb my hair because it's like, sometimes it doesn't.
Your hair
quite.
looks good.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I like it. Looks combed enough for me.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't realize that many people who are living in the lie of transgenderism, where they don't know if they're a man or a woman.
I'm so glad you got our flyer. I don't know who was posting our flyers, but I'm so glad you got it. 372.
Thank you.
And you saw the website for our show.
Oh, awesome.
David is running in
Great.
2016.
Good.
Our party began in 2008.
Yep,
And you can find more about us at americasthirdparty.com. We do a show Monday through Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific to 9 p.m. Pacific.
Are you in Tennessee by any chance?
What state are you in?
Are you in Tennessee? Because we have a person really pushing our flyer.
Or in New Jersey.
New Jersey. Oh, New Jersey's got.
I don't know.
We've
where
got a
he's
lot
at,
of people.
But
Let's take a look here. We just had a guy from Tennessee said he went to my website, davidsponheim.com, and I'll give you guys a link. You can actually
he's
print.
in Tennessee, Nashville.
Oh, perfect. You can print up a poster like the one you saw for as little as $1.33 at your Office Max. So when you go to the site, I'll show you. I'll give you the link directly to the poster. But there is a printable poster on there that you just copy the JPEG to your picture files and then email it directly to Office Max in your area, and they'll print it up for $1.33. Let me show you the poster. This is the direct link. And this is the poster. It's kind of a cool poster. It was taken about 4 years ago. I'm having a problem grabbing it. It's Join the Voter Revolt, and I just happen to have a box in the way, the donate box is in the way, but you can see it's pretty cool. It's very colorful. And we have Talk to Me, nightly video chat, americasthirdparty.com, Join the Voter Revolt. And it's an 11 inches by 17 inches poster. And if you print it up on cardstock, it's $1.33 plus tax. And you can put that on cardboard or foam core and tape it down with some plastic tape, and you're good to go. You can put it out anywhere in your area and promote us. And that person made 24 signs in his area, which is exactly what I did in the previous election in 2014 in my area. I ran for office here, and I was so hated by the Democrats because they don't like me for some reason, that they stole 90% of my signs. I'm not aggressive. I'm what is called.
Yeah, sure. I will give you an autograph if you find me in public somewhere.
I'm proactive. I'm not aggressive. I'm proactive. No, we're not doing a high profile in our area because we don't want to target, anyone in our area or make them feel uncomfortable that we're running a political movement out of our house. But we needed to give our address out when we first ran in 2008. Sarah ran for a local senate.
And we do have americasthirdparty.com on the sign.
We do have America's Third Party is on the sign. Yeah, you can see it.
Can you order autographs? David doesn't give out his autographs like that.
No, we've only given out maybe 10 autographed items in the past 8 years. And right now I've got for the first, actually anybody who sends us a $100 donation, I will send them my book, Hybrid Capitalism. Sarah and I wrote this book.
Send it. Well, they can order the book. You can request the book. I mean, if you don't.
I've got a book right now that's signed. I've got the number 4 copy that's signed with no page numbers in it.
Yes, that's true.
The first 100 donation that comes in.
That requests the book.
That requests the book will get that book. And I'll show you what the cover of the book looks like. It's called Hybrid Capitalism, and it basically synopsizes all our great ideas for the country and how we're going to get America to run efficiently.
If other parties take the signs down, like they happened in another campaign David ran in, just keep reposting them.
Okay, thank you. We need to update our Amazon site from Blog TV to Vaughn. I forgot to do that. Thank you. Let me make a note of that.
Oh, okay.
And everything's good here.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Everything checked out. Just another 3 months for the thing. That's what they said. So we're good. Yeah, this is so 50s, I know. But the Democrats are the most likely culprit. But I know Republicans have been stealing signs. But the Democrats probably did the worst amount of stealing. And 90% of my signs were stolen, which affected and impacted my ability to get elected. No question about it. And that's something that a lot of us need to be concerned about, because these Democrats, they are willing to cheat in order to retain power.
You can do a mock-up for us, Waz.
Yeah, so cheating to retain power doesn't seem like a really decent thing to do. It's kind of disturbing, to say the least.
Well, a lot of people, unfortunately, have not heard of the Internet Monkey Times, and we need to get them on the Internet.
Yeah. I'll show you how many signs I have remaining from 150 that we printed up.
Well, David was actively running at that time, but yes.
I've got a box right here of the remaining signs. Out of 150 signs, this is all I've got left. This one I ripped off of a sign that was still sitting on the ground, trampled on. So I pulled this one out. I've got a lot of these. This was the nicest of all the ones that were remaining. But we literally would put them up, and a day later they would be taken down. And we drove around a 50 square mile area, and literally they were pulling them down, taking them, stealing them, anything they could. And I had bigger signs too that they stole. We had a 3 foot by 5 foot sign that they stole, 2 of them. No, 3 of them. 3 of them were stolen on the freeway. One of them actually had on one side jets equal noise, and that was stolen. Because we have a lot of jets in our area, and all these people in our area want to see more jets causing more decibel pollution in our air, which affects our bodies. And I was against the jets being used here as a testing area and a training zone. I don't mind living near a naval air station, but to use that air station when they need to be doing that type of flying over a non-populated area, it really makes more sense to do it down in Mojave at the China Lake Air Force Base. Yeah, it's probably chemtrails. Well, no, they don't need to train the way they're training. It's dangerous what they're doing over a 50,000 person population. They're flying 2 F-35s side by side, 10 feet apart. Now, we all know what happened with the Blue Angels crash, 5 years ago? A devastating disaster on the Blue Angels flight it was caused by exactly that, flying too close. No, this is a box I'm putting out there online. If you want to get this, I will be, making this available. If you really want a collector's item. Yeah, it was a sad day indeed. And I remember seeing the Blue Angels when I was a kid at numerous air shows. I went to the one down in Oregon. There's a very popular air show down in Oregon. They used to have air shows here on the island. When I was working for the radio station here, we used to do a live radio show from the air show. No, I'm not going to get Windows 10 because it's subscription only, and I really don't want to get ripped off. I'm concerned that Windows 10 is just engaging in this making money endlessly game. And they're not really making major innovations because you see all the different updates that are going on. Cool, thank you. Excellent, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, DJ Bad Boy. Yeah, I made him a 3-minute radio edited loop to talk about what we're doing. And I sent it to him like I said I was going to do.
Oh, good. Nice job, David.
Yeah, it was fun. I love pulling out all my old editing equipment. I should do more of that because I've got these great editing bays that I run them on XP. I have all these software programs that are still working on XP. I know that Microsoft isn't going to give me any major updates, but I mean, there's still functional platforms for running software. So I don't really buy into the whole Microsoft reinventing themselves every year scam. I have, yes. Send what to you? The box? The box with signs? Okay, and what do you want to do with it?
Right. What are you asking to be sent to you?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, your wife doesn't like your old editing equipment, but you enjoy it for $6.93.
You live Linux, Mad Dog? Really? Well, I've been told that if we run a Linux system here... Oh, you want the MP3? Oh, okay, yeah. Let me send it to you too. Hang on. Coming up.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Sarah, for coming in. I
Yeah,
appreciate
definitely.
it. It's been
I can
awesome to
hang out
have
for
you.
Another few more minutes
Okay,
before
cool.
I go have dinner.
Yeah, I don't have any dinner for you tonight, but
No, I have dinner because I took a luncheon and then I ended up eating something different for lunch.
oh, okay. Cool. Very cool.
So it was pretty good. Oh, that's a pretty interesting statistic. I don't know if that's quite right, Bish, but I could believe it, I guess. Before the age of 20, yes. Hopefully not before the age of 18.
Okay, here we go.
So Excite is number 3 in the top search engine. What's number 2? It had some removed URL. That's Yahoo, probably.
Good. He worked on the video. I haven't even seen the JFK work he did. Thank you so much. It's been so long, I haven't even checked this out. That was February 8th. I didn't respond to you. Okay, I will send it now.
Not quite. 1552. Oh, that's interesting, Charles.
Okay.
I teach 3, 4, 5. 1.
I put it in Dropbox, so it should be there. Yeah. So Sarah's how was your day overall? Busy? Tiring?
Yeah. It was all of the above.
Yeah.
It was okay, though. Thank you, Bish. I agree. David and Sarah forever. Totally.
Thank you. Okay, I'm sending it off to you right now.
What David at one point said he did not have any problem with airplane noise?
No, at one point, when I moved up here, I was okay with the noise because it was from a distance. But the more they intensified this pivot to China, which is a buildup of military equipment here in the West Coast, we have seen the flights increase dramatically. I mean, they're going to be testing 39 F-35s over my house. And I kind of find that to be kind of offensive. Okay, it's on your way.
Okay,
But I understand we need a
okay.
military. I get that. It's on your way, Scissor Fight.
I use Infusium 23 conditioner and shampoo. I kind of vary it.
So HSBC is Europe's largest bank, will announce a plan to cut 10% of its jobs. 20,000 workers are going to be laid off. So I guess stealing money from the Libor scandal cost them dearly, and now they're taking it out on their employees.
But do you selfish?
Yeah. Does that guy look like a really nice guy there? I mean, look at those eyes. If looks could kill you.
He looks like he's going to tell his 20,000 people, "You're
Yeah.
fired.
You're
Get
fired.
over it."
You're
That's
fired.
what he's going to
yeah.
say.
You're fired. Gosh. You're fired.
No, David doesn't have a rod, whatever, a cancellation machine to eliminate the noise.
I had to lay them off because we got caught with our fingers in the cookie jar.
Oh, you use Suave? If it works for you, that's good.
Suave, that's like...
I used to use Suave.
I would recommend...
I actually grew up using Suave.
I grew up using Suave too, but I would recommend, if you really want to maintain less brittleness in your hair, you got to get something a little bit lighter in... that sodium lauryl sulfite will really take you down. It rips into your hair and your follicles.
Sometimes I use Suave as a shampoo,
Yeah.
like to take it down, but then I use that Infusium
To build it up.
conditioner to build it back up.
It's a sulfate, that's right.
Yes, yeah.
Did I say sulfite? I said
Yeah,
sulfate.
you did say, I think.
Sodium lauryl
Sorry, you
sulfite.
Yeah, you said
Right.
sulfite.
Sulfate. Thank you.
Sulfate.
Whatever. It's your fate.
Sulfites are in wine. Sulfites.
It's your fate. That's not your sulfate.
Okay.
I have hats cause baldness. This is Sarah's belief that hats cause. This is a conspiracy theory, I think. That
This
you
is
can
my
come up with.
thing that I came up with. Well, I don't. It's more of a what came first, the chicken or the egg. All the men who wear baseball caps that I notice, they end up going bald. So I don't know if the baseball hats cause all the sweat on their head, which causes them to go bald, or if they went bald first from genetics and then just decided to wear baseball hats.
What came first, the chicken or the egg, the baldness or the hat?
The baldness or the hat, which came first? I know.
Yeah. HSBC's top payments go out. I mean, they make huge salaries, like $900,000 a year.
Daily monkey times? You wear a baseball hat daily? Like every day?
Okay. I'll have to read that article on a guy named Cody Shearer, the strangest character in Hillary's vast left-wing conspiracy.
Oh.
I'll have to
Shampoo,
read
not a
this.
hat. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I don't have a link, Frankie. I just took the pages of two different pictures and added them together and created the Renee Zellweger controversy picture, which,
Sigh.
if you haven't seen it, it's worth looking at, folks. I've traced Renee Zellweger's background ever since her face change, and I put together a composite picture here for my analysis, my Doppelganger analysis. This is a woman, Renee Zellweger, we love so much, who's now no longer, she's no longer 5'3", she's now 5'7". Her neckline has changed completely. Her lips have lowered. Her nose is lowered. Her eyebrows have lowered. Her eyes have changed pretty dramatically. And I would say that this is not Renee Zellweger. That's what I would say. And if you're going to say, oh no,
a lot less makeup.
Oh no, that's just a good plastic surgery job. I challenge any plastic surgeon to get that. Seriously. I'd like any kind of a plastic surgeon to make that happen on a person's face. The kind of necessary changes would have required a lengthening of the nose, which would have been impossible. It would have been involved in injecting, I would believe, a cadaver cartilage in the nose bridge in this area, extending the length and widening the... I mean, who has an extended nose when they do a nose job? I mean, think about it, folks. That's great. We got a lot of folks from Japan who are just loving me. I want to thank you for coming in. If you've been in some of the dance clubs in Japan where my face is playing all the time, arigato. Arigato. Thank you for coming in. We want to take care of Fukushima. Yeah, go ahead. What's your question? Good evening. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Good. Yeah, we got Rodney on the phone. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, maybe we can cut the bullshit with all the Renee Zellweger stuff and talk about, America in danger, Dave.
All right, let's talk about it.
Danger.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
I'll let you guys talk.
Yeah, let it go, buddy.
You've been keeping up with the news. I know you're, very busy.
Are you talking about the news? You talked about South Africa the other day, and it was just ridiculous.
What I'm talking about today, I'm talking about shows of force and/or aggression on behalf of Russia. There have been a series of, let's call them near misses, buzzing ships of ours, engaging planes of ours in international air or water.
Yeah.
Dave, if you were the president, would you have shown Russia the backhanded bitch slap by now, or would you just keep bending over like that faggot Barry?
Yeah, you really got a mouthful there, buddy. Well, good question, and I appreciate the comment. First off, we want to make sure we intimidate all our enemies with maintaining a strong defense, okay? And that's the important thing. Now, that alone will keep this from happening, but you may recall that Barack Obama intimidated Putin when he flew into the when he told the guy, we lost him, that he was a jackass. I'm going to talk normal now. We sent 60 of our advisors into Ukraine. We have intimidated him in his back door, a former satellite nation of Ukraine, which is very disturbing. We did the same thing in Chechnya and South Ossetia, and we've obviously been meddling in Russian affairs. So yeah, there is a serious recoil and a bounce back effect when our president is running around calling a world leader a jackass. Thank you, Walmart number 9. Walmart number 9. So have any of you been called to your local Walmart for interrogation yet? Well, if he is a jackass, you liberals should bag it and stick that ridiculously blunt dildo back into your mouth. Yeah. See, we got her excited. Once she gets excited, she can't control herself. You see this object I'm rotating here? And you're not sitting on it, but yeah. This is the Black Knight satellite. This has been around in space for the past, we've seen it since the beginning of telescopes. It preceded the actual development of a satellite in orbit. Yet it sits out there, and guess what? It's 1 mile by 5 miles in length. Yeah, okay, buddy. We're back on with Rodney now. Go ahead, buddy. Yeah. Hey, brother.
Hey, sorry, brother.
Hey, brother. Yeah.
Lost track of things there. I had one more comment I wanted to say. Man, is that fish so fucking hot or what? I mean, are you going to make her the Sponheim girl already or what?
Hey, brother. She's here. She's loving it, and we love her. So you love her. We love her. We just don't get, any kind of transmitted diseases loving her, if you know what I mean. Okay. All right, thanks for the call.
When's Bruce Jenner coming back on the show?
It's unknown to you. It's actually Sarah Hart, not Bruce Jenner. Yeah. You'll stop thinking about that transgender when you meet a real woman. That's right. Sarah is a real woman. All right, buddy, thanks for calling, and I hope your testosterone level gets up a little higher. God. I wonder why people talk like that. Or is it because they don't have a penis? Does anybody know? It's got major overcompensation going for it. It's like somebody must have told him, "You're a little weirdo." Oh yeah, well you can't call me weird because I got a deep voice. You know what I'm talking about, buddy? Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why he doesn't just mellow out. I know I don't like forcing my voice either, and why does he do that? His natural range is more like, "Hi Sarah, how are you? When's the show start, Dave?" Yeah, that's exactly what he normally sounds like. So I would urge him to stop pushing his vocal cords. Thank you. Unlike that Alex Jones guy, oh my God. Come on, everybody! You're going to be on the red list! They're going to RFID your butt! You know, you got to wonder. Hey, brother, how you doing? I am calm. I'm very calm. Well, thank you. Well, I don't love it, and it makes me sick. I get vomitous when I hear it. And you notice how the voice overtakes the message? First of all, Putin isn't intimidating America. He's responding to America intimidating him. China is responding to America flying into the South China Seas, engaging a drone over their space, their airspace that they've newly reclaimed as theirs. So if anything, our president is just intimidating all these countries out there. It's not like we need to go kick their ass. And plus, why would we start a nuclear war with a known nuclear power? And by the way, did you solve this mystery about what the Black Knight satellite is? Yeah, look it up. It's really kind of messed up. Nancy Grace is Rodney. Look at the new identity. He has like 4 browsers open with different browser identities, and he says things about himself to compliment himself in the room. That is the lowest anyone could possibly do, man. All right, well, thank you. Hey there, 462. Let's talk about Tesla. Nikola Tesla, he developed the ability to manipulate RF frequencies, creating an electromagnetic storm in the ionosphere. And Nikola Tesla, in history's perspective, is perhaps the greatest genius of our time. Having developed this technology and then living in poverty at the end of his life is really quite tragic and ironic. But Nikola Tesla developed the high-frequency active auroral research project's original patent design, which is now known throughout the world as one of the sources of geoengineering. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you an important notice. The next seconds. Okay, here we are. We're back again. If you saw your screen disappear for a short time, it's because of perhaps censorship. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe a little lag. Okay, as we talk about HARP, this is a facility that is being duplicated around the world. It's a series of antennas that send out electromagnetic beams in different directions that can triangulate over large areas, and it can literally create weather changes. Hey Dave, this was done and it's not racist. But I think your video was beyond racist? What? How could I have done anything wrong? Yes, Bish, whatever. Why are you complimenting Rodney all the time, Bish? Did you consummate your temporal lobes somehow? Did you get together and touch? In order to get near to okay, there you go. Somebody in the room has an idea. Guest 510 has some thought there. Yeah, close your multiple browsers. Yeah, or you won't get lag, dude. I cannot see or hear you now. Wow. Am I on? Okay, good. Anyway, they've got this ability to control the atmosphere, and that's why when you look up in the skies, thank you, you see this disturbing picture of chemtrails. Always. I do. Last night I was looking into the sky when I was taking a swim in my spa, and I looked up and I saw chemtrails cutting through the clouds behind me. Yeah, I'm just kind of shocked that this is an ongoing problem that never seems to go away, and no one addresses the problem in the news. So I guess I'm the only one here that is even bringing it up. One has to wonder. All right. Well, that's been great. So they use the chemtrails in combination with the HARP capability to manipulate the weather, and they do this using Nikola Tesla technology. Wow, hey, so you learned something. Isn't that great? Let's meet Cody Shearer, the strangest character in Hillary's vast left-wing conspiracy. Okay. And you thought Sidney Blumenthal was shady? Few people have heard of Cody Shearer, the unsanctioned diplomat, private eye, and Clinton flunky, whose name surfaced in the connection to the so-called intelligence reports that Sidney Blumenthal was channeling to Hillary Clinton during her time at the State Department. But this shadowy fixture of the Clinton machine was everywhere in the 1990s, including war-torn Bosnia, where he became the subject of a State Department investigation after he represented himself as an agent of the U.S. government and took cash from a genocidal warlord. Now evidence suggests Shearer, working with his partner Blumenthal, was up to something similar during 2011's revolution in Libya. Wow, this is just crazy. Well, I want to see what this guy looks like, Cody Shearer. So I'm going to Google his name. There's no picture of this guy. Hello. Strange. It has nothing to do with anything. I just want to see what he looks like. It's curiosity. Is that okay? Am I free to do it, or do I have to meet your mandatory guidelines set up by your communist, democratic, socialist society that you're creating? It's a long article, I know. Well, let's be clear. I don't have to read off a teleprompter because the chip that was installed in my head gives me information instantly. So I'm the new improved Barack Obama. That's so weird, I can't even copy his name. Isn't it amazing? Copy, paste. Okay, that's so strange. I can't even copy his name. Maybe it's like top secret or something. I can type it in. There he is. Okay, here is the shady character. Superdelegates may decide the race. Cody Shearer. Okay, this is it. Make no mistake about it. Video down. It's so weird, I can't even type his name. This is a conspiracy in the formation. There he is. Cody Shearer, everybody. Yep. So this is the shady character behind the Clinton campaign. Well, there you go. Thank you, guest 7722. You've got excellent grammatical skills, and I want to admire you on your chat ethics and chat etiquette. Good job. Hey, are any of you suffering from chat addiction? We run a self-help clinic on Fridays on our show, Freedom Friday, where we help you through the heavy throes with our 12-step program. The first step is to admit that you're powerless to the reality that you're a troll. The second is to begin realizing that because you can't show your face, you're obviously suffering from some sort of a facial scarring, or maybe you were a first responder like Rodney, who's so deeply scarred that he can't show his face on camera. That's what he told me. Please don't support Bernie Sanders. He's going to need paddles pretty soon just to deal with his personal problems. Yeah, maybe he depends underwear too, and the paddles. Okay, hook him up. Oh, we got a little squirt problem. David, the people who supported you gave up because you're hostile. No, nobody's given up at all. Everyone loves me. You're the Nazi. You need to go away. David, it's funny that you're anti-HARP but pro-fracking. HARP is actually meant to help us better grasp the weather and its effects on our atmosphere. Raul, you're an obvious idiot. An obvious idiot. I mean, you're an unabashed idiot. And I'm only in favor of natural fracking. I've told you that time and time again. No benzene.
Okay, let's take a look. We got another call from Rodney here. Here's a guy who has to use this deep voice to impress us. Go ahead, Rodney. What's the question?
Hey, Dave. I wanted to point something out to you. Did you realize that Sarah's the only person on Vaughn that broadcasts that actually has a job or a career?
I had no idea. That's fascinating.
You're on.
What the hell's wrong with this guy? I mean, I'm not hostile at all. I'm very happy. And you just came in. You're a new guest, Orchid. Does that mean you're probably the Nazi we just removed from our show? Ha ha ha. Yeah. Isn't it funny how you popped right in right when the other guy got banned? All right, let's move on. I believe that we've got a lot of things to talk about aside from the GMOs that they're putting in our body and the fluoride they're putting in our water system and the chemtrails they're blasting over our head. They've got vaccinations that will ultimately endanger us. Now, I've been anti-vaccination way before the Republican caucus. I'm a person that's been focusing primarily on only the vaccines that work, like the pneumonia vaccine. But if they're going to do some sort of a vaccine every single day and inject it in our bloodstream with the advent of nanotechnology, how do I know for sure that they aren't injecting nanotechnology into my body? I mean, I'm not going to go do that. Duke of Earl. Hey, the show's been going on just fine, but thanks for spamming. Well, I would talk to the Black Caucus. I've told you that time and time again. You know, people have me pegged wrong. They don't realize that I'm a person who's an integrationist, and I support all kinds of efforts to stop racial profiling. I'd like you to stop racially profiling me as a white guy, if you could. No, capitalism is good. That's why we added the word capitalism to our book, Hybrid Capitalism. This show is about politics in the center of the political spectrum, guest 900. Yeah, I too am against RFID chips, guest 262. You're fearful of becoming black? Well, don't worry. It's okay. I think they said that someday in the future, all people will be mulatto. I don't know if that's true, but, you know. Dave, just because you have a feminine voice doesn't mean other men have more masculine voices.
Well, you're saying my voice is feminine now?
Look at it. If you want me to put on like a kind of an effeminate voice, I can do an impersonation of somebody like Tim Gunn, for instance. You've seen Tim Gunn's from Project Runway. Well, come on, everybody. Let's just make it work. Talk to me. How is everyone? Have you seen the accessory rack on the right? We can do a lot of impersonations here. Who is Tim Gunn? Wouldn't you like to know? Okay, let's take a look. The instant screen grab is here. Oh, there's our former, project, whatever. You have to actually purchase cable. You're living in the basement with your mom. You can't purchase cable. We understand that. Look at Dick Cheney. Yeah. The guy that got us into the Iraq and Afghanistan war along with his underling, George W. Bush. They say that Dick Cheney ran the whole operation. My company has made over $39 billion. Yeah. U.S. taxpayer-funded dollars in the war in Iraq, which was started by a lie. Yeah. Could I get a new transplant? Oh, sorry. My pacemaker is outpacing my pace. I can't believe he's still alive. I mean, I'm glad he's alive. But when he shot that guy in the neck in a hunting accident, that was a little weird. And the whole story was shut up. Almost like the stories about Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton. Hang on, we got to remove some people from the show. They're just so sick. You're sick. David, you support advanced technology ad nauseum? I like the fact that we have the ability to help prevent hurricanes, you idiot, Raul. But in no way would I possibly endorse chemtrails in our skies. Chemtrails in our skies, do. Chemies in the air. Have you heard that song? It's really bad. Let me play it for you. Breaking into the next phase of Conspiracy Monday, we've got to talk about the chemicals in the air. Do. Chemies.
Chemies in the air. Everywhere I look around. Chemies in the air. Falling down to the ground. And I don't know if I'm being foolish.
I don't know if I made this song. I can't believe he actually sang that. But God love him, you know. At least he tried. He's trying to expose the world to what's really happening. Let's face it, folks. They're spraying something really bad in our air. And nobody in our government's doing a damn thing to stop it. It's that bad. So yeah, I'm a little concerned too. I don't know who sang it, man. Can you prove what you just said? I can prove that HAARP can prevent hurricanes. Absolutely. Yes. Oh, yeah. Our source for chemtrails? Oh, yes, absolutely. Go to geoengineeringwatch.org. Well, let's be clear. Well, let's be clear. We're going to go there right now. That was amazing. I put Cody Shearer in my search engine. It wouldn't pop up. I couldn't paste it in. It was weird. It's like somebody doesn't want me to look into Cody Shearer's background. I was about 18 years old, Monkey Times, when Sarah was born. Can I tell you a little personal story about that that's extremely heartwarming? Well, let me take you to geoengineeringwatch.org first, okay? And I'll give you a little personal touch. You'll really like to hear this. Yeah, I know. I had a very weird experience happen to me when I was 18, the day she was born. This is geoengineeringwatch.org. They are the preeminent site. And the maker and owner of that site, who's had over 16 million visitors, Dane Wigington, actually came up with the same hypothesis I did separately, that the drought in California is being caused by these chemtrails. Well, when I was 18, I was driving from El Camino College, which I had gone to. I went to college when I was in high school, in my junior and senior year, because I had already advanced to college, the second year of college calculus, by the age of 16. Anyway, I was going to El Camino College, and I was driving my white pickup I had at the time. And I had this strange, weird feeling come over me while I was in the front seat of my car. And it's like a thought went right into my head. It was like it just embedded in my head that the person I was going to spend the rest of my life with was being born. Right at that moment. I started tearing up. It was like a real weird sense of joy. I don't understand it. I'll never be able to figure it out. But it really did happen. Something strange. I knew at that time that I had to wait 18 years to have the person come into my life through a chat room on, it was the Excite network we met on, VP Excite. And I was out looking really hard to find somebody when I was about 38 just to get to know. And I met Sarah online after, probably a year and a half of looking. But it turns out she was born that same day that I was traveling down the highway to pick up my transcripts from El Camino College. It's just unreal. Yeah, and I had to wait till she was 20 when I met her. It is fate. I really believe it is. And I believe I must have been psychic or something. And those are the kind of things that make me believe in God, frankly. Those are the kind of thoughts that make me really, truly believe in some alternate being guiding, our pathway through life. If I was secretly Jesus, I would levitate and become a hologram and float through the air, spreading good feelings for everyone, But I'm not doing that. They haven't developed that technology yet, but it will be available shortly and appearing in the upcoming trade show in Las Vegas. The appearance incarnation of Jesus in the second coming, courtesy of a hologram. See, that's what's so weird. We're heading into a time right now where they could actually artificially engineer a second coming, and no one would know it was fake. No, I won't go back to those schools because they're Marxist in nature. Those schools are pushing Marxism, seriously. And I confronted the political science department not only at that school, but 2 other schools that I went to. Yeah, we're not taking your calls anymore here. It's getting tiring. Yeah, and they're not really substantive calls. It's not funny, Monkey Times. You're a Marxist. That's why you're laughing. My phone? My phone, Dave. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Raul, speak for yourself. You know, when people walk around accusing of everyone of being a narcissistic egomaniac, it's probably because you are one. No, I was very upset that my professor, who was from Rutgers University, he got his master's there, told me that the East Germany, at the time they hadn't seceded from the Union, of Russia. They hadn't seceded their ties to Russia. And the guy said, yeah, we'll talk about it. The guy said that East Germany was the greatest nation in the world. And I said, well, how do you qualify that? And he said, well, they have a Marxist plan that's working. And it's like, come on. Give me a break and stop standing on your soapbox telling me what I'm supposed to think. That's not proper education. Go ahead. What's your question?
Hey, bud, how you doing? Yeah, what's going on?
Talking about your time. You were talking about your time on the internet in the 90s. I mean, while you were shopping around for your eventual bride.
Shopping around? I resent that statement.
Let's talk round numbers here. I mean, how much pussy did you slay back then?
Let's ask you the pertinent question you called about, which we screened you on, and you were going to talk about Dennis Hastert. What is your problem? Go ahead. What's your question about Denny Hastert?
Well, I just want to say I'm really glad that Denny Hastert's going to end up going to jail, and hopefully he gets sodomized repeatedly like a young Dave Sponheim.
Wow, this guy's got some real psychological defects. You can hear it in his voice. Something's not clicking there in the cerebellum area of his brain. Yeah, he's gone off the deep end. Something about having a buildup of testosterone. When a person suffers from erectile dysfunction for years and unable to, expurge their inner goodness, like Hank Moody. You've seen the Californication show. It's excellent. Well, that's an example of a buildup, massive buildup in the lower back of the cerebrum. Okay, so let's talk about other things. Well, you know who Hank Moody is, the Californication character played by David Duchovny? He is hilarious, man. I could see that show again. It was so funny. Okay, I don't have any experience at all. No, I've actually avoided touching myself my entire life. It gets difficult when washing, because you've got to use a hand massager with special solvents. But they told me that my the material, the frubber that they put on my exoskeleton would somehow dissolve if I touched it. Can you believe they're actually creating these exoskeleton people that are audio animatrized? Seriously. That's how advanced it's getting to the point where they're going to have RoboCops in our houses pretty soon, knocking on the door. They'll be like saying to you, probably putting on glasses like this. I am a cybercop. I'm a cybernetic organism. Human flesh over metal exoskeleton. I am here to ask you if they are smoking any THC or marijuana in the home. Our olfactometer is detecting some sense of THC in the atmosphere. I mean, you could only imagine them coming down on us like that. Well, they're getting real close. They got all kinds of robotic capabilities. Well, let's be clear. But the good thing is they've got robotic surgery on tap. Now this is exciting. Hey, it's me, Awesome Carl.
The Da Vinci surgical system is the most advanced platform for minimally invasive surgery available in the world today. The integration of high-resolution 3D vision, wristed instruments, and intuitive motion control enables the Da Vinci surgeon to transcend the limitations of conventional surgical technologies, making new, minimally invasive options possible for complex surgical procedures.
Okay, I'm ready for my surgery, everybody. Let me see if I can get my head in there. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Can't seem to get my head in there. Let's check it out. I'll be back. I'm going to get a robot to work on me here. I wonder if Barack Obama had robotic brain surgery. Unban all for liberty. Necessitous men are not free men. Give me liberty. I need to get my head out of my ass first. Is that what you're saying? I take serious offense to that. I cannot believe you said that. That is deplorable use of the word ass. Yeah, I really appreciate if you wouldn't do that. Thank you. When referring to the ass, simply refer to it as a place of compost. Thank you. Okay, so we're concerned about geoengineering, but not that much. We're going to get rid of HARP. Not that concerned. Well, let's be clear. Get rid of these chemtrails and get rid of the chemies. Let's get back to what really matters, the Earth. Hi, can I help you? Good. We got a new caller, somebody not connected to the Rodster. You don't mind invasive part of your surgery? I don't mind it at all, yeah. Go ahead. What's your question?
Hi, David. I just wanted to know if you'll appoint Bruce Caitlin for the cabinet position of Fabulous when you're president.
Fabulous. Yes, in charge of the cabinet of Fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great question. The new Bruce Jenner, or as we call him, Caitlyn Jenner now. I'm feeling fine. No, I'm doing quite well, thank you. This is Conspiracy Monday. I mean, we're talking about some serious questions here. Yeah. I will not be appointing Caitlyn Jenner to the Department of Fabulous, but thank you. It's very funny that they should even question the issue. I said earlier that our government is not addressing key issues like chemtrails, fluoridation, our water supply, massive toxicity in our oceans. But, oh, we got a call here about Bruce Jenner. Hang on. Bill in Newark. Okay. Go ahead. What's your question, Bill in Newark?
Hey, I'm in Milwaukee, and the question was, what time is the fucking show?
Let's take a look at this story right here. CIA chief will spy on you through your dishwasher. Wow. More and more personal and household devices are connected to the internet through your TV, your car navigation systems, and your light switch. CIA Director David Petraeus cannot wait to spy on you through them. This is an old story, dude. John Petraeus is serving 2 years. That's totally irrelevant. But yeah, they are using things like that to spy on us. You're right. You know the Kinect system that Microsoft sells? In the terms and agreement, conditions, terms and agreement, they actually specify that they're going to be able to turn that on and watch you in the living room without the light being shined. And they'd have total use of whatever footage they could gather from your living room. Isn't that crazy?
Dude looks like a lady.
All right, well, we're doing great work tonight. Rodney's interrupted the show 5 times. Many of you have turned the conversation around to Bruce Jenner 12 times. You've effectively proven to me that you're brainwashed and dumbed down completely by our propaganda system. So yeah, mission accomplished. We showed the world through your own actions in chat how completely dumbified you've become, stultified, and how you are a total sheeple. No, I do not look like a lady. I'm a manly man. You got a good supporter picture? Look it, man, I will stand by this picture. Here's a classic photo of me going all the way across the country. Check this out. Thank you. All the way across the country to sit in McDonald's with none other than Awesome Carl and talk to him about politics. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. Is your hair orange because of the chemtrails from NAS Woodby? No, that is incorrect. My hair is not supposed to be orange, it's supposed to be yellow. You need to get in touch with the art department where my hologram was developed. Please contact art department at cia.gov. Hillary Clinton pushes GMO agenda, hires Monsanto lobbyists. Look at that. Thanks, Dave. That hurts, man. I support you. What are you talking about, George? What have I said that's pissed you off, man? I took your calls. I do my show, and you crap in my room? What the hell's wrong with you, buddy? Hillary Clinton pushes the GMO agenda, hires a Monsanto lobbyist, and takes huge dollars from Monsanto. Oh, I didn't mean to call you a sheeple, George. I'm sorry. Whenever I say these things, I mean the people that don't agree with me. Gosh. I keep making that mistake whenever I call people sheeple. No, if you have come into our room and realized that we need a third party, you guys are not a sheeple. You guys are the aware ones, okay? Gosh, I keep making that mistake because I make these broad generalizations and I know people get upset and you're getting upset. And I'm sorry about that. I really am. I am not an alien. Clearly. Yeah, only the people that don't agree with me. That's right. I am not allowed to watch my shows. I am not allowed to learn from any previous actions. This is a contrary position that was developed in the artificial intelligence framework. Well, what I would recommend doing is shopping for broken cans that are dented. Oftentimes you see those at the box stores for less. When you circle the box store, go to the areas that look kind of like closeout specials, red tag specials. You are not a sheeple. So the biggest thing we have to fear, according to Bill Gates, is artificial intelligence. I think we have to fear a lot more than that. We have to fear GMOs in our diet. We have to fear fluoride in our water system, which is known to cause lowering of intelligence. Dave, you remind me of Barbara Walters. Well, thank you for coming in to our show. Welcome to 2020. I'll be your host today. Wah, 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 wah. Why do you think I sound or look like Barbara Walters? I don't think I do at all. Well, it's not just AI that's concerning me. It's the fact that the corporations that own the entire infrastructure of our government are basically in charge of developing robocops, which are going to be going to your door any day now going, hey, man, what you got? How do you get the fluoride out of water? Well, the best thing to do is reverse osmosis, which is a way of eliminating fluoride from water systems that's most effective. I know George Soros, formerly George Schwartz, owns over 1 million shares of Monsanto. Good point. Well, luckily for you, your intelligence is going up, 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 and away. Dave, stop yelling at us. Up, up, and away in my beautiful machine. Is my voice too loud? I'll talk lower. It'd be better for me, too. Thank you. Well, I would contact an expert, possibly the person that was going to help Andrew Getty, the man who bled out from his rectal bleed. How come nobody's looking into the story of Andrew Getty, who had $2.3 billion, and no one bothered to investigate why he didn't call a doctor? I'm beginning to wonder if there's a little bit of payback going on over there. Hair, beautiful hair, long-standing hair, or this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. I have always considered reconstructive surgery. I've had many facial features altered in the past. David, it is very disappointing to see you behave this way. If you feel better tomorrow night, good night. Vorpalbite, you are a worthless scumbag, and I'm going to ban you from the show. So join the ban crowd. Good night. Nope, the nose is in good shape. In fact, I love the nose. Okay, we'll ban you too. Scissor fight. See, the real idiots come out of the woodwork right now. We're getting ready for the after show. Are you ready for this? We're going to talk about conspiracies. The Bride of Frankenstein's Hillary Clinton pushes GMO agenda. Hires Monsanto lobbyist. CIA chief says he's going to spy on you through your dishwasher. Geoengineering kicking in all around the country. Nobody cares except the people that are in our room. Thank you very much for attending. NASA preps for revolutionary flying saucer test flight. This is the best they can do after reverse engineering reptile technology. I don't believe in reptilians. Do you? Don't answer that. They're watching. Here's what HSBC's best paid executives earned. $1 billion. We're talking salaries in the neighborhood of $900,000 a year. And meet the guy behind the Hillary campaign. Nobody knows who it is. This guy named Cody Shearer. Strange character out there in the Hillary campaign. And HSBC is going to be cutting $20,000 jobs. Wow. They were known for their Libor scandal involvement and the big fee and fine they had to pay for their involvement. Now they got to cut 20,000 jobs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Dissident teachers in Mexico strike over an education overhaul. Wow. And the U.S. Air Force wants a laser-firing jet by 2022. As if we have the money for this. Boy, they just want more war, don't they? Well, who's pulling their strings? I know who's pulling their strings. The World Bank. Hacking the human operating system. Medicine has always sought to understand the human body's operating system. Now with biometric sensors and big data analytics, we're learning how to fix the bugs. That's exciting news. See, there's some positive features of this weird world we're living in. A temporary tattoo that senses through your skin. Introducing the RoboPancreas for diabetes. And the quantified Olympian wearables of elite athletes. The race to build a real-life version of Star Trek Tricorder. This is just so exciting, I can barely handle it. But the worst news of yet. Tonight's bad news is they're using the media to control our brains. All we can think about is a dude dressed like a lady. Bruce Jenner has come out as Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah, formerly Bruce. So that's all they're talking about, and that's all we care about. That was an awesome riff there at Scissor Fight. Thank you so much, man. That was really good. Great work. It's called Are You Ready? I'm going to download that for my personal library. Thank you very much for... I listened to your music, by the way. That was absolutely fabulous, yeah. I listen to your music on my MP3 player when I'm walking around. Yeah, I had a dump. It was a complete digital dump into my MP3 player. And it was part of the list that came in there. I couldn't control it. So I have to listen to it. No, it's good. I like it. It's great music. I listen to my own stuff too. I hope you got that email I sent you. It's a little 3-minute jobby of just talking about what we're doing. Okay, there it is, and now I have to move it over. No, I did a digital dump. It's not like a dump, as in, you know, taking a dump. Slightly different. When I you know, I'm fine. Everything's fine. One moment, please. When I go through a defragmentation stage, I do a digital dump. My memory dump clears all of its sectors. Opening containing folder. One moment, please. Copying file. Distributing file to remote drive. One moment, please. I will play the original one, yeah. All right, so this has been quite fun. Now we get to talk about Barack Obama and Michelle the transgender. I love that part of the hour because I normally don't do that until, we reach the after show. I will call this Scissor Fight 6. Got your act together, buddy boy. Love the programming and the music and the remixes. Great. Do you need to live in a large city and become hip, bro? Dude, I have lived in Los Angeles for like 35 years. I moved to an area outside of Seattle because I didn't want to live in a city for 35 more years. But now I'm living under a jet path, so it's getting a little bit concerning. I probably will go and do my thing somewhere down the road 20 miles away from the jets. David, are you doing a radio show and you need original music so you don't get sued, so you're going to use somebody and not pay them what they are worth to do it? No, I do all my own audio editing myself. I did an entire audio track for my 3-minute music track that I did on our show today. I sent a guy who's running a radio show a 3-minute leader that he wanted. But yeah, I made all my own music. Let me show you what I made on Acid by Sony. It's pretty cool. All right. Scissor Fight is donating this to the show. He's given me authorization. He's posting the links in our show. I have a sister who I was estranged with for a while, but we got back together on the internet. Actually, the internet helped our relationship. We had some disagreements, and we didn't talk for a while, and then we came back together, and we're like we didn't even stop. Yeah, see what I mean? Many of you are touching yourself indecently. I recommend not doing that. Kissing cousins, no. The disagreement was basically a difference of opinion. No, I re-met my sister on the internet. She came into our room and talked to us quite a bit, and eventually we got together again. She visits me on occasion. She doesn't live with me. So you don't like my mix? Okay. You're not allowed to touch yourself. Yeah, you're great, Scissor Fight. You have a great talent. I can't wait to see some of your music videos when they start manifesting. No, I don't do bath salts. I'm not into cannibalism. Yeah, everybody argues their siblings, exactly. You know, frankly, I don't understand the motivation behind people. I think it's jealousy. That's why people make fun of people. This is hard to get these aliens to talk at the time. So as long as we remain mindless, we'll be relatively safe until they cart us off to the FEMA camps. So whenever you, try to concern yourself with anything serious like these mass burial graves they have out in Texas, I don't know if you're supposed to be knowing about the mass graves in Texas. Do you think you should know about the mass graves in Texas? What you don't know won't hurt you, right? Well, here they are. Yes, if I don't win in 2016, I will run in 2020. Hey, I just want to get people an opportunity to have an honest president in the White House, okay? It's not that much to ask. But for the American people to have an honest politician, that's almost an impossibility because most of the people that are in the Democratic Republican Party are bought off. That is the reality. And we're not going to change that reality by just standing around going, well, I guess I better vote Republican again. Or Democrat. They're all bought off, exactly. But this is what they're working on here, the mass graves out here in the middle of Texas.
Well, that's why we need David, so that we can get this not bought off.
Exactly.
He will be the honest president.
I don't understand why they would put mass graves outside of a military installation in Houston. But hey, there they are. The problem with this song is it repeats perfectly, so you can never know when it ends.
You never know when it ends, yeah.
It's my demo tape, yeah. So what do you think? Future resting place for mankind, or just
I'll take one.
a necessary? Yeah, really, I'll take two. You can fit 4 caskets in here or 10 bodies, whichever you prefer.
What, right. 1 casket or 4 bodies?
You can do 10 caskets or 4 caskets or 10 bodies. And when you put a body in a casket, it takes up more space.
Yes, I do agree with God Erase. We need David because he isn't afraid to rock the boat.
Exactly. George, who's been calling in tonight, wants to know my zombie apocalypse theory. Well, they have the ability to create and artificially engineer virus vaccines and viruses. So we believe that this pernicious plan of poisoning the population could very well exist. It's the reality is heart-wrenching to think that they want to stick needles in us and God knows what materials go in our bodies, but the theory is they've been working on this vaccine, which is a cross blend of rabies and Ebola, that would definitely mirror the symptomology of a zombie apocalypse. Yeah. That's why I'm saying, it's not that far off in terms of sci-fi. If they had something spread rapidly among the population, it could be a massive destructive force that would be overwhelming. Yeah. Well, they want to eliminate 90% of the population because the rich people on the planet decided they wanted all themselves. You got to understand, greed has an unlimited potential. It creates a system of desires that are completely bizarre. For you and I, we would say, why would they want to take the resources for themselves? Well, you and I don't think like a billionaire or a trillionaire. You and I don't have everything we want in life and don't have any, free time to think about anything but, what they think about. So they are essentially trying to control the destiny of the planet by eliminating the population. So they led us to believe as children that the population's too big.
Yes, we knew that, David Sponheim. Go ahead.
We're all too many people here on the planet. And this is a popular misconception that they've been promoting since the 70s. When I went to college, that was a big topic of discussion. It was called limits to growth. And they indoctrinated the population of students at UCLA into this concept that we were definitely facing worldwide population burgeoning beyond belief. But when you do the numbers, the American nation has, in and of itself, 5 acres per person available, per U.S. citizen available for people to actually homestead. If we all had water on every bit of property on this in this country, we would all have a piece of property 5 acres in size, and we'd be able to live there. So they've got everyone thinking we all have to live in a tight little area and live off one little trickle of water from a tube. They don't promote ideas like we promote our ocean pipeline idea, which will desalinate water endlessly, providing an opportunity for new communities to grow around the desalination system. They don't think about ideas like that. That's called proper management of the resources of this planet. They can't think that way. They think of owning everything themselves, having all the monetary wealth of the whole world, and then eliminating us because we're just bottom dwellers living off the little crumbs that they drop off of their big, huge meat sandwich that they're eating. And the meat is obviously our life here on Earth. So they're basically killing the planet. The industrial waste they're spraying in our skies in the form of chemtrails is their way of slowly killing off the population. Follow the money and you'll see what's going on. This is definitely moving toward Truth Tuesday. I'm going to take a break and I'll be right back. No, I'm not angry. I'm just very real and very honest.
Just, yep,
God,
exactly.
there's no anger here. It's pathetic what's happening to our planet, and we need to act on this right away. And that means build a third party. There's no other way out.
Why do you think we need more population?
Well, because we have the ability to provide tremendous amount of food and water if properly managed. The irony, Sarah, is 50% of the food that this country brings in
just because we
is
have the
thrown
ability
out.
Doesn't though mean that we need more population. I would say
we don't need more
population.
We could handle more population.
But I don't think it's a need.
I agree. We don't need more people. But the fact is, we certainly don't want to get rid of people, and we don't want to believe in the theory that people are bad. Now, it's really ironic that a lot of people think that the third world nations are living real well now that we've allowed outsourcing and globalization. But really, the plight of the third world person is still as it was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
No different. People are still starving and barely able to make enough food for their family. And that's not a question of can we produce the food? Can we get the water necessary to do it? It's a question of why bother? The wealthy people of the world have it all worked out so that you either pay $9 for a steak or you don't eat.
Yeah.
So why bother? Why bother fixing the problems in Africa or other nations that are clearly out of food and water? Why bother doing anything? So it comes down to greedy people not having the will to fix a problem and really not knowing what to do other than, grow more heroin and make everyone more drug addicts or something. I mean, we're supporting Afghanistan war or whatnot. But it's really something that we could cure and could fix. But they decided to take our country and use it as the police force around the world.
Yeah. If you need to take a break, you can.
Yeah. Well, I want to give you a chance to be with some friends that might be able to, keep you company here. And you can talk about the illegal alien problem.
We're not going to answer the phone. Just because the phone rings doesn't mean you have to answer it. That's what Sarah always says. And David does not need to answer it either because he's taking a break. So don't call right now. When David returns, then we'll answer the phone. So if you don't want to hear it just ring and ring, then don't don't call right now. There we go. All right. He'll call in later. Yes, you want my number? No, not right now. Okay, your question. You'll have to. Should I scroll up? Should you get a leather chair? I'm not opposed to leather. How do you get rid of theory that the man is inherently bad when it's written in the Babel? I personally think I was talking to David about this yesterday, about whether people are inherently good or inherently bad, and I personally think that it really comes down to the decisions that you make, and that I think it's because of my profession, but I believe that people can make good decisions. If they continuously make poor decisions, that can lead to someone becoming evil, but I don't think that people are born evil. That's what I would say. What do you mean people are walking on four legs? Yes, I have heard that. 9001. All right. Thank you very much. You find my intelligence sexy. I like intelligent people too, I have to say. There's something about it. That's one of the reasons I was attracted to David, I suppose. You love the forum and me too. I just upset every religious person by saying people aren't born inherently evil. I don't think so. I used to be religious, and I wasn't religious because I thought I was inherently evil. George, if you continue to say that, I will ban you from the show.
So you need to. Saying he sometimes gets confused. What he was confused earlier. What did he say?
He says whenever I'm on here alone, he says this is going nowhere. Dave, come back.
No, George, be nice to Sarah.
If you're not nice to me, I'll just remove you. David, go take your break.
No, I'm taking my break, but seriously, George, be nice to Sarah. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, why don't you go take a break, George? You can come back in 15 minutes, then David will come back. Then you don't have to listen to me, and you can listen to David. Okay? You have 15 minutes. Bye, George. Hundreds are missing after a Chinese cruise ship sank on the Yangtze River. Something like 458 people were aboard a tourist ship, and it sank Monday night during a torrential rainstorm along the Yangtze River. Many were still missing this morning, right now. Yeah, well, the original sin and all that, it don't matter. I don't think that matters. I think that the thing is, I think some of that discussion about original sin is like tries to urge people to be good. I believe you should just be good because it's good to be good. I don't think you should be good because you fear going to hell. That's just my own personal opinion. But wow, that acting head of the TSA was reassigned Monday after an internal investigation by the Department of Homeland Security found security failures at dozens of the nation's busiest airports. They're going to get stricter on airports, that means. Okay. Yeah, it feels good to be good. You love helping people. That's good enough for you. That's good enough for me. Absolutely. And since we're made in that image, 589, I agree with you too. So health insurers say higher than expected care costs and other expenses blindsided them this year, and they're going to have to hike premiums for individual policies beyond 10%. This is ridiculous because healthcare costs are going up. They're going to raise the cost of everyone's premiums on top of the fact that they raised everyone's premiums with Obamacare. I think people are, I would say that actually about you say people should only be self-serving. I tend to believe that if that's the sin that perhaps people are born with, that they do tend to be self-serving when they're born. And maybe that's about moving beyond being just self-serving. There was a school cancer vaccination. Where did that happen? Because I don't believe it happened in the U.S. Oh, it was like they wanted to... I do remember a few years ago they were trying to get people to be vaccinated against human papillomavirus. I do remember that. Yes. So the past 4 years, so this is pretty interesting. Huh. I know, I agree with you, 4839. The insurance is a racket. Hello, Capitan Crunch. They were trying to get you to get your daughter and your daughter wasn't even sexually active, and they're trying to still get her to do it. Some people believe that vaccines can lead to autism. That's definitely a theory out there, especially because of the mercury in vaccines. And for some people, that might be the case. I also think it's a little bit of it. David thinks it could be a little bit with the fluoride in the water. And there's a researcher from MIT who believes that genetically modified food is going to lead to an increase in autism. So genetically modified food could also be a cause. Okay. Okay. Yes, you've heard about the genetic modified foods being a cause of autism too. That's interesting, Rick. Genetically modified organisms are not the dangerous, the ability to withstand and retain more and more insecticides, which is dangerous. Well, it's also, but it's about what we eat, Jabberwolf. I would say that's what it is. And there are definitely toxic chemicals in all kinds of things. You have your own chicken and deers and oh really? You have your own deer? Do you eat your deer? We have a small garden. It hasn't really produced a lot of things this year, especially because all of the ground kind of gets leached every single year. All the good soil either gets washed away, or we have very poor soil here. So just this weekend, actually on Sunday, as I said, on Sunday, David and I, we do a lot of work around the house, and what we did is we took apart our compost heap and we added that to the gardens and growing areas that we have around the property. That's pretty cool. You have your deer. That's very good. The advantages are it's usually very comfortable. The disadvantages, it might be expensive and unnecessary. Yes, we judge ourselves. And other people might judge you, but just worry about yourself and what you believe. Yes, David's okay. He's getting a bite to eat. I took a long break. David will take a short break, George. Like I said, he'll be back in about 6 minutes. It's very good. Okay, I'm going to... So Intel purchased Altera, and George Soros has some plan for Ukraine that's been reportedly leaked. A hacking group claims it has penetrated the Ukraine's presidential administration website and obtained correspondence between George Soros and Ukraine's President Petro Poroshenko. The hacktivist has published 3 files online.
You know, this doesn't surprise me. The whole Ukrainian revolution occurred because the European Union offered $35 billion to help Ukraine and then reneged on the deal.
That's a good quote, Rick.
Clearly, the topic of Conspiracy Monday really should be about the fact that they've kept a third party from ever getting to the debates. There was a time when Ross Perot had a chance. He bought his way into the debate. But for the most part, third parties have been kept out of everything in the media. And this has been the overwhelming conspiracy. This is how they keep the one avenue for our country to change from happening. Okay, you got something there. Wow, that's a good one. We just got this JPEG from someone, Scissor Fight, posted this.
Just do the top. Don't do the bottom.
It's someone holding a poster in front
Let's
of
do the poster, yeah.
in front of a building. 1980s clouds, chemtrails, 2014. Isn't that amazing? Wow. So if it isn't chemtrails and vaccinations, it's definitely controlling the election process and making sure that we don't ever have a choice or a voice in our government. Because whenever you call and try to get through to a government official, they always give you the runaround. And you don't have to contest this. It's the truth. It's a truism. They just put you in the revolving Rolodex and they never respond to you.
I'm glad you've never had to deal with chemtrails where you live.
Someone says, "Are you autistic?" Who are you referring to?
Treed. Yeah.
Yeah, Mom always said, you can't fight City Hall. Now we know what she meant. A federal judge in southern Oregon on Friday rejected a request by 2 alfalfa farms to block the county's ban on genetically engineered crops. Why would they block a ban on genetically engineered crops? I mean, it seems like a good thing to do. How will you tackle the problems of religious mania in this country? I didn't know there were problems with the religious mania in this country. Everyone in this country knows that we come here because of freedom of religion.
Exactly. And when, with freedom of religion means people can worship the way they wish or choose not to worship if they don't want to.
Yeah. I didn't know there was a problem with religious mania. I mean, that's like
yes,
saying
it's
there's
in our Constitution. It doesn't matter.
It is in our Constitution. And if you say there's a problem with people having guns in this country, no, that's in our Constitution too. We have the right to bear arms. So you need to realize the world, according to the communist Marxist perspective that Obama and Clinton support, isn't the world that's coming, especially if we can change it. But if we don't do anything and we just sit back and watch it happen, yeah, we're all going to be forced out of our houses and lined up and shot like the Jews were in Hitler's Germany. That's the sad truth. If you don't stand up for your freedom, it dies. It disappears. So your freedom to speak out about anything, we encourage. You can even call me names. I still, stand by your right to call me names. So we need to keep this thing alive. In order to do that, you actually have to exert freedom. And I've gone out of my way to do that. And yeah, sure, it's painful, but sometimes it's very, very necessary. That's right. Live free or die. I'm sorry, I just ate some onions, so I've got some bad breath, but
it's all good.
I couldn't help but get that Black Forest ham.
I'm sorry, I've been in my shoes all day, so
that's okay.
Bad feet.
But I think I'm good. You can smell it from here, I know. The reality is Sarah and I are not sitting close to each other because I don't want to, have her smell my onion breath, and but I took a piece of red onion and wrapped it with Black Forest ham and put some mayo in it. It was like eating one of these low carb meat sandwiches. It was so good.
That's good.
Have some of the ham if it's available.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, please. Yeah, there's no more issues about Caitlyn Jenner, okay? She got 2 million followers on Twitter in a day. Whatever.
Yes, 976. We've turned our back on the patriarchy.
We have.
Women have, anyway.
Sure. Great. Thank you so much for having...
and I'd say we believe in equality, not patriarchy.
Yeah, we believe in the chance for everybody to speak out equally. Thank you.
Thank you. No, we don't make our own mayo out of eggs and oil.
I used to make my own mayo. I had a blender, a hand blender. It's kind of a pain. Mayo is one of those things you can buy pretty easily, you know. Okay, everyone is on politics. Well, that's understandable. People like a beautiful woman, George, you know. I don't think underwear is an important issue here, politically speaking. Guest 5416. Congratulations to all your supporters. We defeated the first major stage of the Monsanto-backed legal challenge that attempted to overturn Jackson County ban on genetically engineered crops. Thank you. Upstate's bringing some good news to all of us. Thank you, Upstate. This is a huge win for family farmers threatened by GMO contamination, and a win for everyone who cares about the future of our food supply. Thank you. Yeah, I heard a couple farmers were trying to break the ban. They're probably GMO farmers, you know, working for the Monsanto Corporation. Hillary Clinton figured it out. You can buy 10 jars of mayo for $10 at Big Lots. And mayo is one of those things that you could store in the closet and it'll be good for about a couple of years. It's built very well to withstand test of time. And, you know, if you're spending $5 a thing for mayo at the store every week, you probably should buy a case over at Big Lots. Good point. All right. GMOs made your testicles bigger. Well, good for you. So you've got genetically modified testicles. Wow. And how long do you have to live? Did the doctor say you're the end stage of your testicular cancer? Oh, yeah. Trader Joe's has great food, yeah. They've always been pretty cutting edge. Trader Joe's says something to me. They say that none of their food has GMOs in it. And I wanted them to put that in writing. Nice talking to you, George. Thank you for coming in. Good night. I wanted them to put it in writing that they have no GMOs in their food, but I don't know if it's true or not. It's hard to really believe that. Small-scale farming is generally a waste of resources. Really, especially considering small-scale farming protects the soil, which protects the environment from a drought, whereas large-scale farming leaches the soil, puts chemical fertilizers everywhere, turns the entire soil into a toxic wasteland. I mean, how could you even say that? So you'd rather create a toxic wasteland than generally waste a little resources to make better soil. I mean, you're completely off your rocker. They are now. Trader Joe's was bought out by a German company. Yeah, I remember I used to serve some products to Trader Joe's. Or tried to, I should say. It was a really bad wine deal that went down. I lost about 10 grand on that to an Iranian. You live and you learn. You don't deal with Iranians, right? Oh yeah, 10 grand. Trader Joe's kept cutting the price. So the sale went through. It was 100,000 cases, but I didn't get a penny. Yeah, they cut me out of the deal. Yeah, anyway, let's change the subject, shall we? Bacon niacin. Eating bacon will make you live longer. This is becoming a common sense thing nowadays. Bacon seems to be the way. Remember we had the bacon discussion last week? Sarah makes it almost daily now. Bacon, 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 bacon. I got to pull some more bacon out of the refrigerator and defrost it. I've got so much bacon. Well, it turns out that eating bacon will make you live longer. New study. Thank you very much, marysue.com. Yummy. Bacon, 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 bacon. You're in luck. A new study from researchers at ETH Zurich has revealed that niacin, aka vitamin B3, could help you live longer. The niacin-rich food menu includes not only bacon, but also Marmite, sun-dried tomatoes, paprika, and peanuts. So this pretty much sounds like the most delicious recipe for long life ever. Thank you, themarysue.com. That was great. That was a feel-good link you just gave me. I love paprika. Lowers your heartbeat pressure rate. David, do you really put any stocks in these studies? Tomorrow a study will come out negating the same study. I do. I believe that every study has some merit. Just like I think that there's a phase where you go from black to white. Not everything is black or white. Most things are on the spectrum, in case you didn't know. God, are you really all just kind of like wandering through life wondering, what's next? Is our president going to eat another kitty cat? I don't know. Maybe the world's turning upside down and we don't know it. How come our world is so concerned about a guy from Duck Dynasty who gave a personal opinion about a personal belief that affects no one, but we don't care about the lies to the American people about healthcare, Benghazi, the IRS, the NSA, and the fast and furious exchange of guns with the cartels? It's safe to say the wrong person has been fired. Remember that? Well, I call it political stupidity at this point. Anyone who uses the word political correctness should probably be, taken out and beaten with a wet noodle or something. I'm not a right-winger. I'm a left guy. I was always a Democrat. But the more you guys who slip into the paradigm of Marxist political correctness, where you criticize everybody who questions anything and try to shun free speech and stifle the freedom of this great nation, the more you're stepping in your own goop, the mire that's going to pull you down. You're going right into your own quicksand. All of you Democrats are killing your future politically by stifling free speech and calling people names whenever you disagree with them. Your Democratic Party is going to dissolve in the next 10 years. You watch. Mark my words. You're walking in your own crap. You're eating in your own crap. You're the biggest name callers of all. God. I think Dennis Hastert probably deserves what he's getting. 2 5-year sentences. With probation, he'll get out in 3. I'm kidding about the beaten with a wet... No, whenever somebody says beaten with a wet noodle, it's a joke. You don't have a sense of humor. And here you are going LOL. Oh, by the way, I want to unban everybody. I was thinking about doing that earlier. I was saying, I need a gesture of goodwill here. I'm unbanning everybody, and then I'm going to selectively ban certain people. All right. David, who do you hate the most? Hate the most. I don't hate anybody. Who do you mean? Who do I hate the most? I don't hate anybody. If somebody did wrong to me, I'd hate them. But I don't have a yam. I work all the time. I'm constantly working every single day. I go to bed, I wake up, I work all day long. Because he's the person who doesn't need to be in the show. Because he's got a serious addiction. And we're trying to help him with that. We're doing a little tough love. But don't construe that as love. Well, of course I hate terrorists. Biriana. I especially hate people that have killed people who are innocents. Do I hate people that execute people? No, because they're executioners who are fulfilling capital punishment laws. But do I hate terrorists? Yes, they're killing innocent people, not murderers. I saved my pennies. I live on my pennies now. And I buy lots of good things like rice and beans every day. I have plenty of beans and tortillas. I live essentially on a diet like most illegal aliens. But they live much better than me because they get food stamps and lobster for dinner. But remember the old days when the illegal aliens didn't get food stamps and welfare and Section 8 housing? That's how I live. So now I live basically like the illegal aliens in the 1960s. Anonymous is back with another cyber attack on the Israeli government. Oh, that's not likely going to be a story. Guess 800-900. Yeah, I'm gonna let you play that just for whatever it's worth. But yeah, Anonymous and cyber, all these WikiLeaks organizations have been co-opted by the government. They are now representative of secret operations within our government, and obviously, if our government has an unlimited checkbook and the ability to buy anybody, including hackers, they pretty much control the entire undernet, okay? I don't know what you're talking about, Brianna. Could you be more specific? Great show, Prick. Thank you for coming in. It's always nice to have Prick in the show. The U.S. doesn't want to catch Snowden. Snowden is the most powerful disinformation agent our country's ever had. Yeah. I don't rip people off at all. I just said, great show, David. And I said, thank you, Prick. It's not ripping anybody off at all. It was funny. I got to admit, it was a good play on words. But I mean, Department of Justice flying secret airplane fleet over American cities. From Blacklisted News, folks. This isn't some conspiracy theory. This is starting to look more and more real every day. Kind of like the blast furnace doors they're putting in the Walmart in your local neighborhood. Department of Justice flying secret airplane fleet over American cities. We'll take you closer. When a friend happened to spot a surveillance flight over his neighborhood, it led Sam Richards, an independent journalist, to uncover a fleet of secret planes registered to fake corporations apparently created by the Department of Justice. Whoa, but their purposes are unknown. Richards uncovered 100 of the aircraft and traced regular flights over major cities in America. Aerial surveillance over Chicago via secret FBI. Using flight tracking websites, Richards tracked these airplanes' flights over several major cities. Sounds like the Richards hour here. Well, let's get a video, buddy. Yeah, I wanted to see a video. Apparently these are just JPEGs. All right. Thank you. That's Minneapolis Sam is his account. Sam Renegade. Thank you so much. No, I would love to see low-cost dental work for all of us, like $50 a tooth. And we could make that happen if we had more public dentists. We have hardly any. George left for a reason, Bish. He was just not thrilled by the show. Hey, thank you. I was really good in the game today. The Illuminati's taken everything over. Yeah. The problem is the Illuminati has stretched its fingers deep into the Masons, and they've done the unthinkable. They've trained all these Masons to never question them. And if they do, oh, that's some BS story about the Illuminati. It's really kind of sad because what they're doing is behaving like a secret society. And our nation doesn't need secret societies right now. We got enough with the Bilderberg Group and the Bohemian Grove Society and the Council on Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commission. So we really don't need more secret societies. But these people, you know, they've got their roots and their tendrils deep in our nation. And they've got dual allegiances to other countries like England. And it really makes for a very, very bad situation for our nation because we are being manipulated. Well, they're apparently engaging in secret meetings and handshakes and God knows what else they're doing. Well, we definitely don't have any association with anyone in the Freemason group or in the Illuminati. So we sever any ties when we find out that people are trying to move into our group from secret societies. And we make a quick, sharp cut. You need to cut the head off the lizard or it literally will continue squirming around and growing. If you cut the tail off, it'll grow a new tail. So yeah, I need to be firm about this. I'm an objective person who will never, ever conform to a secret society, and I promise you that. We can't do this if we make up some BS excuse to ourselves that, oh, well, if I suck up to the mob, maybe I can get elected. Ugh. Or if I become a spokesman for some secret society or God knows who. You can only imagine the contamination with the idea of a third party. It ruins the whole concept. We are a party of and by the people. That's what we're always going to be. And this is my dedication. I'm dedicating my life to this. I don't give a crap about their money. I'm dedicating my life to this because this is what we need. And this is what our country desperately desires, is honesty in politics and an objective leader who's transparent as well. Candy Rain's very busy working in her garden. She's a very busy person, yeah. She's a very active gardener. There is no teleprompter here, guys. I'm completely live and impromptu. Stop saying bad things about her. That's a bannable offense. I don't want to make you my first ban for the day, except for, of course, Topper Dan. No, Brianna, are you having a little hissy fit with Bish? Stop picking on her. Just because she's beautiful and you're beautiful doesn't mean you should, just attack each other in the room. No need for a cat fight here. Well, Dave is not like Obama, reading off a teleprompter. Well, that's exactly right. Well, we'll make no mistake about it. We are 115 days from climate chaos. I know. They've worked it really well with the chemtrails. It's amazing how the entire nation is going to be under siege very shortly. With that drought really killing off our most important state, California, smart move by the Illuminati, don't you think? I do not know. I don't write on my hands, no. I have a very strong knowledge of the English language, and I can retain information. I was trained very well in my public school system. That's true. Putin is not, he's afraid of no one except, of course, me. I do have an amazing, imposing personality. I don't know how I got it, but maybe I inherited it. It's just me, I guess. I could be like Ken Jennings. No, I don't write on my underwear. Let's be brief. Come by my orifice. What about Caitlyn Jenner? Yeah, so that's on your mind? I'm so sad. They want you to think about stupid things like Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah, that keep your mind off the reality that we're screwed. Our environment sucks, and they want to keep us all dumbed down. So yeah, you're probably hooked on that pacifier. What you need to do is disconnect from the matrix. You can do it very easily if you follow the pathway. If you choose the blue pill, you can live in Wonderland. And I will show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. If you take the red pill, you will be afraid of no one except your shadow. And you will live in fear. Like Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson, living in the Matrix. Mr. Anderson, making copies. The copy maker, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Copy. Okay, I have to go. Take care, Oma. Nice having you in for the night. I hope to visit your cast. Hope you can come see my cast next week. What time are you casting? Bish, I told you, you don't have to worry. You are the queen of this show. Don't be messing with Bish. I'm working out the details. Okay, Oma, good. I'm glad you're going to broadcast. Because we've got a big planet here and plenty of room for people to do stuff online. Cool. Okay, another M59 earthquake strikes off Oregon coast, and M51 near Tananga volcano, folks. We're looking at some major erupting information, no pun intended, off of my coastline. And this is from a fairly reputable site, Dutch Sense. I mean, many people go to this site. Pretty interesting stuff. There's a lot of fake sites out there like whatdoesitmean.com, Sociafial. Don't believe any of that crap. But this stuff looks pretty legitimate, especially considering it really is erupting off the coast. Thank you, Bish. Love you. I love you. I never had sex with myself, ever. I never ever had sex, period. Ever. Okay, let's take a look here. Ooh, I'm reading it. Up and down, up and down. Okay, a little horizontal bop there. Okay. A new volcanic eruption is now confirmed to be taking place off the west coast of the United States, everybody. The new undersea volcanic activity is occurring approximately 300 miles off the central Oregon coastline, along the axial seamount, where a fresh fissure that has formed, producing a new undersea lava flow and seismic activities. So if anything weird happens, like a tsunami, and we get wiped out tomorrow in our show, this will be our last show, you'll know what happened, everybody, okay? I'm just giving you fair warning. We try to do these shows as if it's every one of them will be our last before the apocalypse, so we're getting everything crammed into a short period of time. Many of you haven't stocked up on food, I know that. You need to start going to your market and buying some good food for your family. Stuff that you like to eat, like I need to move to high ground. Yeah, I should probably get out of here tonight. I'm only 60 feet above. No, I am not a Freemason. And I'm going to ban you if you keep... I'm going to ban you, User 101, if you keep doing that. God. Man, you're messed up. Volcanic eruption off West Coast, man. This is really heavy duty. Let's check it out. Oh, yeah. Little video. Let's play that video. Earthquakes map.
Dutch Sense here. 1:37 a.m. Central Time on Thursday, April 30th, 2015. And I've got you over here on College of DuPage, and we're looking at the 1 kilometer visible satellite view over Oregon. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off the roads and rivers and the counties just so you can get an idea of what we're looking at here. Okay, here's the entire state of Oregon. And I'm going to go ahead and play through the last animation of the last 48 images, which will show us the whole day of activity on visible satellite here. And you're going to see a bunch of clouds go by, and then it'll fade out to sunset, of course. And that's going pretty quick, so let me just bring it forward frame by frame. And you can watch this first, okay? Watch it. And we'll watch it through again as I click it through.
It's amazing how boring the show could be. We're just listening to him talk about, seismic activity. Ah, yeah. Okie dokie. Dave has no high ground. He has hypocritical platitudes, ad hominem, and narcissistic boasting. You had to come in here and start that rattle off your Nazi mouth again? That's just crazy. The Nazi comes in every day under different names. I'm going to ban 2 people calling me names because obviously they don't deserve to be here. Okay, Dave, these are archons. tinyurl.com/oggoes. I'm not going to go click on a tiny URL. What do you take me for? Some sort of a loser? Okay. You're thinking, okay. Say hello to my little friend. I don't want to do, no, I'm not going to be tempted by the prurient, lascivious nature of the gypsy temptress we know as you-know-who. Remember Borat and the gypsy temptress? Nat? Your gypsy temptress trying to get to me. David, I'm trying to educate you, Dave. These are icons. Okay. Get an account and post a link. I'm educating you. If they're archons, I don't believe in aliens until I actually meet one. Now, if there was an alien that walked up to me and said, okay, dude, I'm an alien. Well, prove it to me. Levitate or something. There's a lot of people out there I could think are aliens. Like this guy that came up with bitcoins and denies ever doing it. I could imagine him being an alien. Or the Hale Bopp guy, when God knows what he was into. Somebody has a conspiracy theory that says that the Hale Bopp guy who killed all those people in Newport Beach. 57 of his website designers died. They actually came up with a theory that those guys were all designing a way to crack encryption codes, and they had to be terminated by the CIA. Isn't that amazing? I just don't believe that theory either. I think those people were really whacked. And I really do believe this guy did create bitcoins, but he denies ever doing it. Now, I don't know me, no. He's only the only scientist in the vicinity who could do that. I will get that device. Thank you for coming in and appreciating your time in chat. Please continue. One moment, please. Please continue. We have an error. Take a look at this this guy and the simplicity of his life. A man and his goat. I mean, think of it. And think of how far we've come as a nation. You know, what is this? What is the world becoming? I mean, life used to be simple. What happened to it? What's going on? Why can't a man just have a normal relationship with his goat anymore? I am a presidential candidate. I'm doing the best I can. If you don't realize that, that's your problem. Do you think I would have been here, Caitlin, for you to see me right now if I was just a presidential candidate? I don't like bitcoins, but we take them. We have a Bitcoin receptacle, a wallet. We've constructed a wallet online on our donation page. David, did you brush your hair? I did. I brushed it, man. It just landed this way. I was doing a little Beatles impersonation, and it just fell in place like the Beatles. All right, thank you. A Dutchman predicts an 8.8 earthquake will strike California Thursday. Okay, sounds good. It wouldn't surprise me. Especially in lieu of this information about the volcano underwater. I think it's high time to take that road trip. Hey, you guys on the East Coast, I'm on my way. Let's get the heck out of Dodge, Sarah. We got earthquakes coming. Yikes. I am not a shock entertainer. I am shockingly entertaining. These are Archons. Thank you so much. It's just a simple page. Bad link, dude. Well, let's be clear. Thursday, I'm playing golf. I totally agree. I'm living on an island, so yeah, don't live on an island. I'm out of here, man. What are you talking about? Blackface isn't racist. Racism is a word they created in the 1970s. It doesn't really have any significant meaning. When you do a blackface, you tell me how a person in any way feels superior to a person who's in blackface. It makes no sense. I believe you're going to have some serious convulsions as well, perhaps within your own mind. Within your own mind. Within your own mind. Well, the many joys of hybrid capitalism, we're glad to talk about it. But first I have to read about this. Earthquake fact versus fiction. Is the big one coming? Well, I don't know. You'd have to ask her about that. In a video posted to YouTube and viewed by hundreds of thousands of people, Frank Hoogerbeats predicts the planets will align Thursday and an 8.8 earthquake is going to rattle the western shore of the U.S. I believe I know exactly when it's going to be. I hope I'm wrong, Hoogerbeats says. It really comes together May 28th, 2015. So they get some whack job, conspiracy whack job, to run off his mouth and throw the date out there. Yeehaw! Yep. We were always prepared for an earthquake, said Mary Jo Flynn, and all other disasters. Hoogerbeats claims he came within 2 days of predicting the Nepal earthquake, which killed nearly 8,800 people last month. Well, within 2 days of an earthquake is well, it's kind of like the only thing that's really close is, I guess, hand grenades and horseshoes. You know, that's about the only close he could be. Hand grenades and horseshoes. Okay, let's see what we got. Well, I don't object to being called anything. I would urge you to use your freedom of speech, which you so clearly have forgotten is part of why you are American. All right? So when you ask yourself why you have the ability to say somebody's a racist, you have to answer that you are living in America and I'm not going to prosecute you for calling me a racist. Okay? Just like you can't prosecute me for wearing blackface. How's that? How's them apples? Wow. You just don't understand free speech, and it's basically going to kill your party. I'm telling you, I'm warning you. You've got about 6 or 7 months to figure this out before the Hillary disaster and the whole nomination becomes a fiasco. So you either get your act together and realize this is a nation of opposite thinking people, or you won't have a political party. And I'm speaking as well to the Republicans. You've been living so fat in the hog and high on all those corporate $50,000 plate dinners, you have no idea what the real man's going through. Yeah. I'm drinking rot gut straight from a drip coffee maker, and you're drinking your fancy schmancy Starbucks. Here is a link of the Archon GIF. Let me see what you're talking about. So you're referring to the Archon messenger from the Illuminati. Okay, so this is an Archon. Interesting. So you're claiming that the picture we had of Barack Obama was of an Archon earlier. I can see that you were quite concerned about that because you've dedicated the whole night to posting the Archon picture. Folks, we've got a very serious believer in reptilians and Archons. We got a winner. Ladies and gentlemen. Well, maybe you might believe this. This is a theory that Hitler is actually none other than Walt Disney. Yeah. Real talk, real issues, real plastic surgery. Yeah. So let's take a look at Walt Disney's face, matted over Hitler's face, and you compare and see, and then determine if he's a reptilian as well. Alrighty? Thank you. Confused? Well, so am I. Yeah, I'm having a hard time aligning their faces. No, up. Hey, boys and girls. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I didn't really understand why Walt Disney was so hell-bent on having a home that looked just like Hitler's Austrian palatial mansion. And when I went down this rabbit hole, I didn't expect to see some sort of a Hitlerian mansion. And sure enough, by George, I think we've got it. There we go. Okay, let's line it up. All right, you decide. You be the decider here of the final. Clearly, they're not the same person. One has eyes lower than the other. Oh, I've got to raise it. Hang on. Ooh. Now we are getting somewhere. Yeah. Now you are beginning to see the similarities. Yeah. I see nothing. Chin is similar. I'd say Disney has a little more shapely. Yeah. Lips are a little bit different. Okay. Well, obviously that I digress. But let's get back to the Archons that you think are taking over the world. So exactly what is happening with these Archons? Have they morphed with human beings? Have they become an alternative species here on the planet? Their eyes are very beady. No, that's not me. All right, I'm going to read the chat now. And, you know, whenever people bring up these reptilians, it's like a total buzzkill, you know? It's like you can't prove that they're real. And then they show you these pictures of these like eyes, of the reptilian eyes. Have you seen these things online? Oh, it's just terrible. Thanks for my reviews. Thank you so much. Yeah, so they get you looking at pictures like this and saying, oh, well, that couldn't possibly be photoshopped, you know? No way. Nuh-uh. Just Google reptilian eyes and just unbelievable things come popping up. All right. All right, this has been a wonderful show. I want to thank everyone for coming in. I would love to continue doing the show all night long. But as you can see, it's just me and my green screen. Me and my green screen doing the show tonight. All right, any other questions? You want to have a second on broken St. Obama's? Sure, absolutely. Okay, let me put my distant cousin over here and my friend Morlock over here. There you go. And that's Belloc Star from the Star Trek Alien. Yes. And I'm going to put my other picture here. And you decide which is more alien-like. Me, myself, or I? I'm asking you a question, man. Tell me, I told you I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question, man. Now, who do you think is the real alien here? Balak Star, put number 1. Number 2 is Broke Obamas, or number 3 is the Palladian. So 1, 2, or 3? 1, 2. No, it's not racist. It's I disagree. It's freedom of speech. God, that's like saying food is poison because there may be some biotoxins in it. Seriously. I mean, of course there's biotoxins in your food. There's all kinds of biotoxins in our entire environment. You know, they found dioxin in the breast tissue of women in the Inuit tribe of Indians in Alaska. Yes, dioxin. So our food is tainted. But we have, just like we have the freedom of speech, which gives us the ability to talk. You say I'm a racist because I did a blackface video. That's ridiculous. It's definitely free speech. And a lot of you who have the belief that it's racist should just bag it, man, because you're the biggest racist of all. You're the ones that are calling people out as racists because you're afraid you've got white guilt. You're guilty for being white. When you look at other people who are African American, like famous basketball players, for instance, you think that they had a rougher life than you did. Not realizing with affirmative action they've had a better life than any of you white people. So, man, you just got to get off your white guilt high horse that you're living on. All right. Thank you. Hey, thanks for coming in to one of the last vestiges of freedom on the internet. I appreciate it. I don't care what you want to do. If you want to be what you call racist, you made up this word, you go ahead and do whatever you want to do. It's free speech. You got to get back to the reality that this is all protected. I don't know. You know, Paul, I don't think any of us are going to get any kind of freedom. We can't get due process. We can't get a speedy trial. We can't get equal protection under the law. We can't get freedom of speech. I mean, the whole thing is bizarre. It's like he really believes the blackface recurring meme on his Joe helps his message. It is, yeah. It's helped me so far. Frankly, 683, I wouldn't have even been where I am right now on the internet without the blackface. That's how completely brainwashed everyone is. I have to sit here with an alien on one side that's probably, paper mache, and some cartoon character on the other side in order to get views. And bring up the blackface just to, kick it into gear. Yeah, you're also nullified in so many ways, except, of course, people who have tuned in to what's happening. You're so nullified you can't even see what's right in front of you. They pulled the wool over your eyes. So that if you see a white guy running for Congress talking about a third party without Balak Star and without the alien hybrid, and talking about a way of solving America's problems with a brand new form of economics, you're going, yeah, I'm bored, man. It definitely is freedom of speech. It's all protected under freedom of speech. You're wrong. And what's really striking is you Democrats who are basically Marxists, who think like some sort of a collective, are stepping on the rights of the freedoms that were guaranteed on our Constitution. And you don't even concern yourself. You don't even care. That's just really, really amazing. Hey, Ed, how you doing? Not only do you not care about what you're doing and how you're seemingly thinking that your will is going to preside over the vast majority of the people of this country, because frankly, your majority of Obama-tards equals about 25% of the population. You do the numbers. And you're only a quarter of the population. I got 75% behind me who just need to get a voice out in American politics, who just need some airtime. And I did the blackface video because I had to do it. There was no other way to do it. There was no other way to solve the problems in this country unless we shock the living daylights out of the American people and wake them up from the slumber and stupidity that they are lingering in. Do you understand me? Let me draw you a picture. If you don't use your freedom, it disappears. Comprendo mundo? My God, you people are so gone on the Democratic Party, you don't even know what the hell's going on. You're lost. God, I do this almost all the time, and I try to make people realize that in no way doing an impersonation of a black president makes me a racist. Well, let's be clear. Yes, Paul, the Patriot legislation was not renewed. It is true, but they're working diligently to craft something to stick it to us even worse. So don't trust the right or the left on this one. Trust me on that. These are people that never bothered to question the Patriot Act over the past, I'd say 20 years. 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, something like that. Yet now all of a sudden they're just creating a new one. I smell a rat, and believe me, it's not good. TSA fails to stop undercover agents sneaking bombs and weapons throughout airports. Yet they get time reaching into your pants to grab your junk. We've got people here that are absolutely, completely moronic, sitting behind desks, they're rent-a-cops, with little wands, slowing the air traffic down so that some airliners are going under right now, so they can stand there and use an antiquated system called a rapid scanner that our country paid $24 billion for to not catch anybody. TSA fails to stop undercover agents sneaking bombs and weapons through airports. American airports have a reputation of meticulously checking every passenger for weapons and contraband. According to ABC News, an internal investigation has been launched into the TSA's operations at some of the country's busiest airports. The gaps in TSA security protocol were so big that undercover agents were able to successfully sneak banned weapons and explosives through airport security and onto planes, all without the TSA noticing. While the bombs were only made to look real, undercover agents got past the TSA in 95% of the test trials. See what I mean? So we have a completely incompetent government run by a completely inept group of government officials that all they do is suck up to corporate money to get reelected. And you wonder why we've got problems in this country. We knew Caitlyn Jenner was a plant. We had to get rid of her. You know, I kind of bait the room a little bit just to give people a little bit of room to wiggle, because when you catch a fish, you got to let them run with it for a while, and then you eliminate it. Nobody has a show on our network. Nobody's doing what I'm doing. The idea of impersonating a president, according to a Democrat, would be to never let a white person impersonate a black president. Based on the logic that they're calling me a racist because I impersonated a president, means that a white person can't impersonate a president in their world. That's what they're saying. Hungry. No, I'm not hungry. I eat a little bit every day. I graze. Seriously. They would rather just pretend like white people aren't allowed to question anybody. Ham YOLO, it's not about the blackface. It never was. It's about not being able to be heard in government. I believe that millions of people died during the Holocaust. Period. End of story. Good night, Wakadu. Thank you. Okay, Hog Slammer. Yeah, why is the government providing security for airports? Aren't they a private company? They are. The TSA is actually working through Department of Transportation, but what's really happening is the government spends $7 billion a year on the TSA, and it costs you more every single time you fly because of it. I'm not in any way going to try to do a Blackface 3 where I impersonate some ghetto guy. That's the whole point. It's an impersonation video of Barack Obama. Thank you. Hey, bottom line is this was engineered to carry me forward, and it's working. Now, many of you people look at the show and go, oh, well, you know, it's not really working. You've been casting for 7 years, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it is working. And we're pulling numbers, and we're getting people to respond and talk about a third party on a daily basis. So it's all good. It really is. The problems that we're facing is the mainstream media and their censorship won't take an issue about a third party at all. And we found this out in 2008, so we had to do this. I had to do this. And the point is, now the blogosphere is being controlled by the underbelly of our entire Google framework and the Facebook framework, which clearly is being run by the government through the NSA. Clearly. That's how they're tapping into all our private emails and tapping into all of the information that we use, and they're going to use against us because they've got supercomputers that are tracking every single one of us right now, every day. The supercomputers that they possess have more than enough capacity to track you when you walk out of your house and when you go down to 7-Eleven and watch you get a Slurpee. And then go to Walmart. They have facial recognition at the Walmart. When you walk in there, they know who you are. If you want to donate, please go to davidsponheim.com, top right of the screen. Thank you, Swiffer. I appreciate it. That's great of you to do that. So when I talk about the blackface video, it's irrelevant to me. It's nothing to do with my politics. I did it because I need to be able to use and exert freedom in this country in order to keep it and retain it. Otherwise, you don't have it. The Black Panthers were an organization that actually protected the African Americans and their rights to have their own families, their own segregated life, ironically. The Black Panthers were only trying to bring fathers back into their community. So when you talk about the Black Panthers, it's not like they were a group that was dedicated to harming anyone. In fact, the weapons charges that they were charged with in the 70s, I think it was 1975, if I'm not mistaken, were all bogus weapons charges. They all had permits for the weapons. And the government lost a lot of money to the Black Panthers because they sued in court and got a recovery, a settlement. Seriously. No, there's nothing pathetic about it. No, blackface is just the side note of the whole thing. If you can't look at the big problem, which is we don't have any free speech in this country, then you won't understand why I had to do blackface, will you? Ed, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just wondering what you used $400 for. Are you spent already, or did you get your check this week? Of course, I mind playing the blackface video now. I'm right in the middle of a show. I'll wait 10 minutes and play it then. Stop asking the same question over and over again, or I will eliminate you from the show. Hello, do you have the money and power to beat Obama? DJ, that your statement alone, claiming that you need money and power to beat Obama, implies you don't know that Obama can't run again. Implies that you think money and power is the only way to beat anybody in a political system. And implies that you're basically a fecal matter exerted from the anus of our propaganda machine. So you got a lot of work to do there, buddy. DJ Eric needs to wake the hell up. Yes, I told you I kissed my dad when I was 8 years old. I explained that to you. I told you that the other night. They said, have you ever kissed a man? Okay. Yeah, really. I mean, seriously. I mean, I'd love to play the blackface video for you tonight. I'm going to queue it up. It's available at my YouTube site, youtube.com/David John Sponheim. And I'll play you a series of blackface videos. I've got about 2 hours I could play of you of non-stop blackface videos. We'll start with Blackface 2 Light and go to Blackface 2.
And I want to say...
Sure. The candy man can if the candy is good and the crack cocaine, yeah. All right, so we've got a president that is a major drug user. Yeah, and I want to show you what we got right now for president, so everybody gets to know Obama a little bit better on a more intimate level. This is a classic candid picture of him when he was an open and flagrant homosexual during his early days at Occidental. He was known in the Honolulu area as an open and flagrant homosexual, which is fine. You know, I certainly am okay with the gays. I don't have a problem with that. He has an incessant problem with flies that seem to be attracted to his face. And I'd like to say that that's just make-believe, but it's true. It's undeniable truth. He's got numerous pictures of his flies on his face. If you Google Barack Obama and flies, you'll see tons of flies. Now, I have to ask you, what the hell is that all about? And these are facts about Barack Obama. He has a massive scar over the back lobe of his brain, implying that he's had neurological changes to his head. A portion of his head was removed. I mean, this is serious. If you don't think this is serious, then you're completely asleep and you're probably unable to even respond to the chat other than to babble. But the plate was removed. Scientifically, it was removed from his head, and they installed something in his head, no doubt. So that's a problem. So, and the other common problem, which is constant in the whole history of this president, who's been illegal ever since the start, and no one ever acknowledged it, is that he appears to look like a stalk of broccoli. That's right. He's obviously competing with the Green Giant and their entire broccoli package, but no, realistically, we have one more picture to show you here that's perhaps the most shocking of all. Oh, there's so many. Oh, gosh. So many to talk about and so few things to talk about. The photograph of his, I was kidding about the Barack Obama, but the ring finger in his hand, it actually says, in Islamic text, it says that Allah is the one and only God. And when I show this to you, it may be a no big deal for you, and you may say, oh, well, this has been disproven on Snopes, and they said it was not in any way an Islamic expression. It's a snake. Well, here's the Islamic text in close-up saying Allah is the one and only God. So we've got a guy who's worshiping Allah, pretending to be a Christian, yet never went to church over the past 7 years, He's wearing a snake on his finger, on his ring finger, which he wore when he was a young man, when he was visiting the madrasa. They gave it to him as a gift. We've got a president with a scar on his head that just is so obvious in multiple pictures. It's not photoshopped, it's real. You got to wonder why we've got a homosexual for president. And then on top of that, and let's just pass on the fly thing. That's just a weird side note. On top of that, we've got an even bigger history of deaths of people that he knew when he was a young man in the Trinity United Church in Chicago. When he was younger, he knew these three men, and all three of them are dead. They all died the year before he became president. Nate Spencer, Larry Bland, and Donald Young, all gone, all mysterious deaths that cannot be explained, and we're all eyewitnesses to his homosexuality. Yeah, it's the giant hole in the huge gaping reality that the Democrats hired an illegal alien Muslim homosexual to run our country into the ground and basically act like a babbling idiot in front of the press and stop all sense of logical discourse from happening by stifling every question that comes up, claiming that you're a racist if you question him. Well, what this is, folks, is the work of a very nefarious group of people acting through organizations like the Masons, pursuing a pathway of control over our nation that is going to ultimately lead to the death and destruction of 90% of the planet. And we, the American people, are the only ones that can stop this from getting any worse than it already is. There's a connection between these two photos here. Thanks, Ron. The New World Order wanted him, this raging freakazoid, to be your president because they like to laugh and joke about what idiots we all are. To them, it's funny that we would be so fooled by such a lie as this. So what do I do with an incredibly mind-controlled propaganda machine running disinformation left and right? I go right back at them full force. Straight at them. And there's no other way I can describe this but take the bull by the horns and run with it. And I do what I have to do. And that's why I do the voodoo that you do when you don't see me on a daily basis. So I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight. It's been wonderful. I want to say goodnight because this has been a really a fun show, but I have another life where I spend time with Sarah and we watch TV shows on Netflix, and I'm anxious to do that. Look, you're going to have a real hard time realizing this, but I'm banning you permanently from the show because you have been nothing but an interloper in the show and you have done nothing to contribute. Okay, there you go. What is going to happen to you or us? We're all going to be carted off to the death camps eventually if you want to know what's going to happen. Yeah. Unless you can do something to stop this political tide of corruption that has taken over our nation, we're done. All of us are basically fish food. Yeah, I'm just giving you a heads up because if you don't act accordingly and step up and do something, I appreciate that. I want your vote. Thank you, 467. But I in no way want anyone to just think this is an easy thing to do. This is the hardest thing in the world to do, getting on the ballot in any one state, or even getting mainstream media attention. It takes a huge effort just to do that, and I'm still trying to do that. I haven't had 15 seconds in mainstream media, let alone 15 minutes. I doubt I ever will unless the American people really want a person with my mental acuity and clearly proactive stance. Because I am not a person who's going to back down and cave in like Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton or Jeb Bush. I'm a real person. I'm not a fake joke of a person who's been bought off. You're going to bed? Okay, Hog Slammer, sleep it off. End of Time says U.S. is preparing to face down China in the South China Sea. We've got a president that's starting wars with China, wars with Russia, literally creating havoc in the Middle East, pissing off Egypt, pissing off Saudi Arabia, pissing off Israel. I mean, the policies of this president have been so I guess the word is chaotic, but it's worse than that. It's worse than chaotic. He's literally pushing us to the brink of what appears to be World War III. And you Democrats who sit there going, well, just give him some time. He's only had 7 years. Yeah, right. He's definitely doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He's changing America, all right. It'll be changed when he's done. Nobody's going to back down, and I'm not backing down ever. You know, the nice thing about being in America, you can pretty much rest assured, you as a true American understand that we are survivors. And if these scumbag Illuminatis working through Masons or whatever other organization they're working through think that they can control our future, they haven't met the American people. They can try to poison our nation with illegal aliens. Barack Obama released 70,000 of these people over the past year into our cities, into our streets. I'm serious. 70,000 of these illegal aliens have been dropped out of our prison cells and pushed right into our streets in America. And they think that's cool. That's something that's no problem, nothing to worry about. They are systematically trying to weaken our nation, and this is how they're going to do it. They're going to try to do it, and they're going to do it unless we can stop them and build this third party. We are fish food for piranha who have billions and trillions of dollars who will take us to the cleaners and then rinse us out and flush us down the drain. They care more about illegal aliens than they do American citizens. It's time for Sponheim. Thank you. All right, everybody, thank you so much for coming in. I'd love to do a show longer, and I think I probably should, being we've got such a large audience. I don't mind extending a little bit here. But I want to know more about what your concerns are, specifically about the Jade Helm event. The thing that's bothering everybody, I think, is this terrible Jade Helm event, which I think is indicative of a martial law scenario. And I think that they're probably doing this just to freak us out right now. But in the end, it all comes down to infrastructure. And from what I've seen, they're positioning 50,000 HRAP, MRAPs, Amtraks, Humvees, all kinds of things in certain key areas around the country. And yes, there's only about 1,200 men involved in the actual Jade Helm event. But everything about Jade Helm seems wrong. Seems like it's not supposed to be this way. Even putting a wooden shoe in the middle of their logo at Jade Helm implies that they want us all to go to the concentration camps, because that's what the wooden shoe represents. Thank you. So the wooden shoe thing is their way of saying sardonically that it's okay to just throw it in our face that they are going to construct execution chambers in FEMA camps. It's not a group, it's a actual military operation going on within our military. And the word Jade Helm dates back many years, almost 50 years. They've been developing this plan, but now it's more public than ever. And what's really disturbing is that if they wanted to include the UN, like the U.S. Army protocol has suggested, they could turn our country into a UN occupying zone, bringing in foreign military and putting them in all those MRAPs and be rolling through the streets with foreign military in our own country. Now you say they're kidnapping children also. That's a very interesting point, 562. I've heard similar stories about all these kids being lost in America. I'm not talking about Jade Helm right now. I'm talking about missing kids. But missingkids.com focuses on about 55,000 kids a year are missing. And I don't mean their parents taking them. That's a different statistic. You were 14 when you were kidnapped? You want to tell us what happened? Share with the group here? Well, that's our concern, Sir Waffle, is that this whole thing is kind of pointing to mass graves, and the possibility that anything's going on right now is leading toward a Nazi concentration camp in America. That's my biggest concern. When you see these mass graves, you wonder, are these things designed for humans? I mean, you could fit 10 bodies in one of these things. It's crazy stuff, yeah. It's all right there. These guys walked around this camp. You were taken from your family in New Mexico and haven't spoken with them since?
Yeah, they're excavating more, huh?
Well, you need to call the FBI right away. Immediately. The Undamaged Zapruder film. Really? Where did you unearth that? Was that from the interview with Geraldo Rivera? I'll take a look at that later. Thank you. I know there's echo. I got that. Thank you. All right, good. Upstate has something scaring the public over the Patriot Act. Okay, well, I'm sure Upstate's right. Rand Paul will force the thing back up there, but I'm a little suspicious that they're going to go through a revision of the Patriot Act, making it even worse. Okay, Obama media irresponsible for scaring public over Patriot Act. Wow, these people are off their gourd in the progressive community. Thank you, Edward Snowden. Oh. Obama and the media is irresponsible for scaring public over the Patriot Act. What? You know, I'm just going to wait till this sorts itself out. I'll get back to you on that. I don't know what you mean by cut it. I cut my own hair. Yeah, I started cutting my hair in 1983. And since then, I've... Let me show you a picture of when I had my hair professionally styled. Well, no, it's kind of a bowl cut right now, but I like it short. But since you're getting personal, I might as well get personal with you. Got some extra time to talk. It's all good. But I started with longer hair in the early 80s. Here's a picture of me in around 1978. So that's a $30 cut right there. It's ridiculous. I was doing some gardening the other day, and I nearly nailed myself with a sharp stick. I had to be careful. Luckily, it didn't pierce the skin. Sarah said, "Whoa, Dave, watch out." Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the haircut factor really has saved me a lot of money. I've saved about $8,000 over the years, and just on haircuts alone. So I went out and bought a car. With that $8,000 savings, I bought a used Honda Insight, and I bought it and spent about $8,000 on it. And I liked it so much I got another one for Sarah. And ironically, these cars have both paid for themselves. I mean, at least the first one has. The gas savings alone on this one, the one that I got back in 2006, has already saved me $8,000 in gas. So by cutting my own hair, I bought a car and enough to buy another car. It's a pretty good deal, huh? Pretty good for some scissors. You had the insight to save money for them, yeah. What do you mean if Sarah does not make it? What are you talking about? The haircut car, yeah. Make what? All right. Not really, because this car will never have lack of parts. They made it for 6 years, and there's so many people that are so popular into the Insight group that there's ample parts to go around. Plus, the best part about the Insight is they don't wear out. Therein lies the word insight. It's an insight to buy. Basically, their car is built for life. I have a car right now that has an electric switch out on my left window. I price out the switch. It is expensive, I'll admit. $200 for a switch. But I mean, it's one of those necessities that you got to have a left window. So we were planning on traveling, unless Jade Helm, interrupts our vacation. It all depends. Jade Helm may take, precedent. If there is an earthquake in California in 2 days, like that guy predicted, chances are we'll be hitting the road sooner than later. We'll probably go to the East Coast right away. I'll rent a little bungalow in Florida there on the coastline, right near where Rodney lives. And we'll hang out and taunt him every night in the chat room, saying, "Hey, buddy, we're down the street. Hook up." Yeah, well, I don't think that it's going to be as bad as you think it is. I don't think the earthquake's coming in 2 days, but hey, I've been wrong before. Thanks, Swiffer. Swiffer's been very nice to donate button. Very nice to donate the link here. Thank you. Link the donate button. So yeah, it took me a while to really embrace the idea of doing a Monday show dedicated to conspiracies, but I really enjoyed the aspect of being able to talk about anything on a Monday show. Because Tuesday we talk about the truths about how corrupt our government is, levels of corruption within the oil and coal lobby preventing us from getting good gas mileage on cars, all this stuff. The truth about ethanol, how it's 23% inefficient. The truth about how our society has become a consumerist model, which has a destructive end to it. I mean, there's so many things we can talk about tomorrow night. World Trade Center attack, we definitely can talk about that tomorrow night. And then come on, we're not saying goodbye to Conspiracy Mondays, no. We're going to keep it going. But then Wednesday is Wasteful Wednesday, and Thursday is Technology Thursday, and Friday is Freedom Friday. And Saturday is our anti-war rally. And this is a regular schedule we've adopted over the years. Truth Tuesday, yeah, Tooth Tuesday. I know, we'll see. We'll see if anything happens, because we have, very small donations. It's all fully registered with the FEC.gov. We fill out quarterly reports. That's right. We've been doing this show for 7 years, going on 7 years, so it's been really kind of a fun venue for us to, explore. Bruce Jenner is not a woman. He's a sick and delusional man. Well, this story is propagating from the Blaze. The mentally ill crossdresser named Bruce Jenner was interviewed for 2 hours during prime time about his plan to gruesomely mutilate his genitals in a macabre pseudo-medical ritual often erroneously described as a sex change. He detailed his decision to Diane Sawyer, calmly declaring, for all intents and purposes, he is a woman. He concluded that the next best course of action is to castrate himself and live the rest of his life pretending to be a girl. Wow. It really is kind of a case of pathetic, narcissistic, egomaniacal thinking or something. I'm not sure what, but whatever takes people down the road to self-mutilation, you have to ask yourself, what possible gain do they get? It's just like an endless waste. We were planning on campaigning, yes. The plan has always been in place to go, but if things get weird in the world, it's better to stay put. Yeah, I'm a little concerned that 2015 is going to be one of the most disturbing summers in history. I still get that weird premonition that something is not right here. I can't help but get that premonition. It just doesn't seem, things don't seem right. Things seem very weird. Well, that's fine. The saber, the sabot, and the jade helm logo, whatever. The bottom line is they're going to manifest the environment for martial law. The fact that they're anticipating it shows me that they're not dealing with the economic disaster facing our economy. They'd rather prepare for the destruction of our economy and its people. It's obvious to me. I'm surprised it's not obvious to you. Well, that's the thing, 405. That's why I don't believe in aliens. We've had numerous opportunities to see grays up close and personal. Truly. We've had numerous opportunities to see grays. But there's only how many photos? Like 3 credible videos online that may or may not be credible? It's very strange that, you know, all these sightings of unidentified flying objects, which I can see that how that definitely leads you to believe that there are aliens. It could also be an elaborate psyops by our government to make us think that aliens are taking kids out of their homes. Well, if you think it's an alien, then you're not that concerned, right? How many of you are actively trying to stop the missing kids of 50,000 kids in America right now? None, right? Nobody's actively trying to stop that. So nobody cares, right? Or few really do care. Let's just phrase it that way. Or how many really care about the violations that are going on in CPS, where every year 1,000 kids are tortured to death under the care of CPS?
Radio absolute wrong.
Well, blame it on aliens. It's a lot easier. Yeah. Let's just talk about aliens instead of the crimes that the CPS is committing against children. Right. Let's focus on aliens. So this is all, you know, hard to believe that our whole world is all about aliens. Seriously. There's so many more important issues to talk about, like, right, CPS destroys families, exactly. So I don't want to take your mind off the facts as they are, but there's enough conspiracies rolling in reality. Lack of due process, lack of a speedy trial, lack of a fair trial because of the money factor. Nancy Pelosi's an alien reptilian, really? How do you know that? I was often wondering why she was having so many facial reconstructive surgeries done. I couldn't understand why she allows her face to be like a rubber band. Interesting. But there are people out there that are concerned that well, there's going to be some sort of an appearance of Jesus shortly. Have you heard the story that Jesus is going to appear in the final days? Well, apparently he has. And they've got a hologram of him ready to go. And he's dancing. They just have to implement the hologram, and he's ready to do his little sing. You know, song and dance. It's the dancing Jesus. So, I mean, if they have the ability to create illusions on TV or in reality, who knows what's coming next? So you got to wonder. Yeah. Crypto-terrestrials, David. They are called crypto-terrestrials. I think they're called CIA art department workers. That's what they're called. I'm not afraid of black people. What do you mean afraid of black people? I meet them all the time publicly. I greet them. I say, hey, how you doing, man? What's going on, baby? What's happening, mama, man? I have no prejudice against black people. Never did. It's ironic that people want to look at the superficiality of a blackface video and call me a name. It shows me how absolutely retarded the American people have become. They can't see beyond a simple look. Now you look at this guy right here. You instantly think he's a moocher, that he blames the government and he can't find a job just because he has some facial scarring. You are constantly judging people instead of looking a little deeper. This man has a lot to say. He has rights. He has rights, and he has nostrils, and he has earlobes. And man, does he have a face that is a major art piece. But I mean, don't try to judge everybody. Just let them be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. Crystal words of wisdom, let it be, yeah. All right. So we discovered that Bruce Jenner is a woman now. That's great. It's like they are filling our brain with empty thoughts to replace the real thoughts that we're supposed to have, which is called thinking. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. I got to get a little Beatles into this room. Let's do While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Okay, we got a new one from Scissor Fight tonight. Thank you, Scissor Fight, for this good one. Appreciate it. You're getting better and better, man. Okay, what did the Dow Jones do today? Anybody know? Oh, who cares? Tracy Morgan's appeared. That's crazy. He said something very prophetic. He said, I wonder how I'm gonna be funny again. That's crazy. You're a funny guy, Tracy. Make a comeback on Saturday Night Live. You know you got it, baby. I hope to see Tracy Morgan back on his game. He's good. He went through hell, though. Tried to sue Walmart, and they said no, they wouldn't accept it. Apparently nobody can sue Walmart now. They're unsuable. I'm ready.
My house is your house and your house is mine. My house is your house and your house is mine. Check it out. Check it out.
All right. I finally unbanned 277. Yeah, you can come on in.
1, 2, 3, 4. Put your hands in the air. Here comes emotion. 1, 2.
only a few more years until Obama's no longer president. What is it, 1 year now and a few days? We need a new president, everybody. Somebody who doesn't have a broccoli head. Well, let's be clear. I'm neither a vegetable or a fruit. Love it, man. I think we got one of the best remix artists out there in the form of Scissor Fight. You're good, man. All right. Thank you very much. That was awesome. Whew. Well, I'll tell you, this is oh, here we go again. Yeah, it repeats just like my songs do. That's cool. All right, so let's check out the business news, see what's going on there. All kinds of propaganda you read. Economy is picking up despite stingy consumers. I mean, come on. They keep lying and twisting the statements to try to make it seem like we're not in the worst recession ever. And according to the global markets, our dollar is standing tall. That's nice. Stocks edge up after recent losses. Ooh. U.S. Senator Rand Paul claimed last week that his Republican Party colleagues are responsible for the existence and growth of ISIS is not just foolish. Wow, I wonder why that story landed there. That's weird. Well, let's be clear. Yeah. Well, Rand Paul's starting to speak loud, a little bit like what I've been saying all along. Let's take a look here. Trying to get to the bottom of this story of Rand Paul. Oh, see? It doesn't even exist. Look at that. You just saw how they put a story in there. This is subliminal advertising for Rand Paul. They stuck a story, embedded in a story about stock losses, and they just stuck it right in there. This is because computers, I'm not making this up, computers are writing the news. They don't even know what they're saying or what they're doing. It's weird. It's bizarre. I can't describe it. But it's definitely not normal. Ron Paul's speech was good. Oh, good to hear. I'm glad he made a good one. Butt and Ernie? Somebody made that face? It just doesn't seem normal. Hey there. Right. Computers are the new bloggers. You're weird and bizarre. Well, you're a conformist suck butt who's waiting to, basically rot in your own underwear. You're basically Miss or Miss Conformity. I think you're a woman. I guess 485, I believe, is a woman. Am I correct? Are you wearing a red dress? Is there a fluorescent light right next to your head? I'm picking up that your mother's name is Valerie. Is that correct? Okay. It's bizarre, not bizarre. Yeah, exactly. See? I even figured out her entire life, and now she's calling me a creep. Wow. And here you're right in front of one of the strongest mentalists you'll ever see online, and you can't even take advantage of it. Why don't you ask me about your dog's pancreatic problem? The fact that you're feeding him donuts is the reason why he's getting sick. Have you ever seen Long Island Psychic before? It's hilarious. No, Dr. Meow, you are the mental part of the ist. Plato's failure to properly wear an appropriate available seatbelt device, Walmart's defense, technically they're not right. Poor Tracy hasn't belted in limos, rarely built. Yeah. So you researched the plaintiff's failure to properly wear an appropriate seatbelt, and Walmart's, their top-priced attorneys, got that story completely squelched in court. You're right. I don't do pills, Bert. I'm completely natural. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I just poke that poke. Something you can't even do, Bert. I know, the Ron Paul speech about the Patriot Act. What about it? I've been against the Patriot Act for the past 7 years. Why would I want to give Ron Paul some airtime right now? God. I mean, you seriously think I'm going to be like Fox News and give him free ride here in the blogosphere because you're a Republican? I mean, come on! We've been protesting the Patriot Act for the past 7 years and had no airtime. I'm getting a little pissed now. Oh, it's the end of the show. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming in. I'm going to play some really weird, kinky movies tonight about weird alien encounters. I don't know if he means Rand or Ron or Ron. Rand, Ron, what's the difference? They're clones of each other. All right. Let's bring back the alien videos. We have some strange things we're going to show you tonight. Things that go bump in the night, things that you can't explain. Some of the weirdest stories ever. I'm going to have a show on the Black Knight satellite that I started our show with tonight, as well as the weirdest things you'll ever see with alien pictures that seem pretty convincing. We're going to kick it off with real aliens caught on tape, best evidence ever, scary. You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension where real aliens are caught on tape. Best evidence warning. Story, part 3. You're traveling through another dimension. Oh, I said that already. Sorry. Yeah, this is pretty good. So I'm anxious to see this myself. I'll be watching it with you. Good night, Silver Fox. Yes, thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Dave, you are quite the showman. Guest 488, thank you. 485, you, ma'am, are the creep. And I would ask your dad to stop touching you in weird ways. Okay, there you go. Actually, I've been watching the classic Alfred Hitchcock Presents on Hulu. Oh, that's good. Random costume show tomorrow. All chatters dress up and post pics of yourself. No, Bert. Don't follow Bert. That's just Rodney wanting to dress up like everybody. Doing dress up, Rodney, is not something we all do. We don't all tuck like you do. Okay? Thanks. Okay, this has been an awesome night, though. I feel something is up, though. I feel that this earthquake off the coast of Oregon is a little troubling. I know. I'm so late. I did an extra hour for you all. No, not come as blackface. Blackface is old news. I come as whiteface. Yes, Kimosabe. I'll come as Radiated Dave or something. It'll be kind of like a radiation show. Kind of like, oh yeah. Hi everybody, it's Dave. I know, I can hardly see myself. How are you? Welcome to Whiteface. Tomorrow is going to be our Whiteface show. So don't miss this incredible opportunity to join our Whiteface show. Okay, take it easy everybody. Be well, be swell. Don't touch yourself, you know where that leads to. Alrighty, sleep well. Thanks for coming into Albino Dave's show. Adios, amigos.
You are about to enter another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land of imagination. Next stop, the Twilight Zone.
The heck is that? Oh, shoot! Oh my god! Oh my god! Shoot! Get out of the house! Oh my god, what the fuck was that? Kenny,